We are going to jump into the map veto now, just to see where these teams are going to be throwing down this evening.
So, as you mentioned, Vitality have had a very good showing on Bank and LeStream, and not going to want to take them there. Bank is going to get banned out immediately, as well as Coastline coming out from Vitality. They want to see that Coastline coming out. So we'll see the map picks start to come through. Remember, it's ban, pick, and then we ban out the remaining maps until we get to our decider. So, we'll see how that go down. We'll see what the rest of the map bans will come through to be. And we will see Coastline and Consulate. No.
We're going to see border picks there for Vitality, which is a little bit strange. I would have much preferred to see them take Oregon. Maybe they did do quite well on Oregon, picking up 3 wins. And LeStream are going to be taking on Consulate.
Yeah, so I think that maybe I was expecting to see Consulate at some point from LeStream. And, you know, I mean, you've got the map stats.
LeStream have got, we've discussed this earlier, they've got a thin showing of maps because they've not had to play that many games to get to where they need to be. They've done very well fighting the way up through the upper bracket, should I say, not the winners bracket. But Vitality have got a much heavier spread of maps there to draw from. Consulate is a map that both these teams have played once and won it once. They've both done very well. I'm not sure. What do you think about those? It really does come down to how much preparation that teams can do, and what they're going to do to be able to make the difference, and how they're going to exploit their opponent's weaknesses on certain maps.
So as Joystick mentioned during his interview, that LeStream haven't really been playing together for a while, and we've already mentioned that multiple times with a couple of new pickups when Renshaw and Liven got dropped out recently. And they don't have insanely good strats, and they don't really play that amazingly together compared to some other teams in their region like Empire, but they do have insanely good gun skills. So I think that Consulate and Border are going to be maps that do benefit them to that extent.
Yeah, you're right in what you say, because gun skill can play a huge role, and in terms of a map like Border, where you're going to want to look to take key rooms and establish good footholds, that's often the best way to do that is to brute force your way into the site and get the kills and frag out in those areas, and that can then allow you to execute on. So yeah, like you say, going to be moving into Consulate now, getting straight into these map bans, and let's see how the map bans go. We're going to see an Ash ban. So
I think that's pretty fair, honestly.
That's a target. It's got to be a bit of a target there from Team Vitality. They've seen what Uno's been able to achieve on the Ash, not just through the course of these qualifiers, but in the last game particularly, and a Blackbeard ban going to come out as a counter from LeStream. Obviously, a lot of window potential on Consulate, and Blackbeard being one of the better operators to choose in that scenario.
Again, Glaz is actually going to make it through the operator bans here. And we'll see exactly how that's going to work out, because neither team on Clubhouse, when LeStream and Empire were playing, there was no glass ban. They didn't actually bring it through. So we'll see how that goes down, as we'll see the Valkyrie getting banned out by LeStream as well. Pretty also potent operator. I feel like LeStream are playing this pretty default in terms of bans compared to their earlier bans coming out against Empire. Maybe they feel like against Vitality they don't have to do anything too special. Vitality will ban out the Mirror, which isn't that powerful on this map compared to other maps, but she can be a bit of a pain on that downstairs attack.
With LeStream removing Valkyrie from the equation, it made Team Vitality's job a little bit easy there in choosing the last ban for them to go into their defensive phase with. Of course, they're going to be on defense first, so they're going to be, making sure they've got the best chance they have of dealing with good operators. So Maestro and Echo both going to be available, and we're actually going to see a clash pick coming straight off the rip for an Archive and Tellers. So not only a split bomb site, but there we go. We are going to see that 6 pick onto the Echo. Echo too important to not bring if he is available.
Yeah, definitely. We are seeing the Zofia coming out from the Uno Meister himself as we move into round number 1. It's going to be an Archives Tellers, as you said. Kind of a weird one.
Attackers need to locate.
I think it's just maybe trying to catch LeStream off guard at this point. A split bomb site isn't one that you're going to want to go to as a default. It is a viable bomb site. Often we do see it played in conjunction with a castle just to try and zone out some areas and slow that attack and push. But I think it's certainly going to catch LeStream off guard here, and it's all going to be about how they're able to adapt and deal with this on the fly. They have brought double hard breach, so it looks as though they maybe were even expecting Vitality to take him down to Garage first.
We should see something like that coming through, as this is going to be round number 1. It's going to be Team Vitality who take on LeStream Esport. Remember, this is the very final qualifier. 15 teams have qualified for the Invitational so far. It's going to be LeStream versus Team Vitality. Only one of these can make it. There is only one spot left remaining. It's all or nothing here. There is nothing more to hide. The strats have to start coming out. I think Vitality have more to play for here in terms of strategy, though.
Yeah, it's like we had just had the interview with Joyce, didn't we? He alluded to the fact that LeStream are very good at pushing, they're very good at the gun spill, and they're very good at taking the side control that they would need to take. And often their execution comes down to, you know, less of strategy and more of just being able to win gunfights and get trades. And there's nothing really wrong with that. It is a relatively new roster that, you know, they've not been playing together all too much time. So they've got to kind of rely on that a little bit until they're able to develop, you know, firm plans of their own. But look at all the information that BBU's able to gather down here with that pulse scanner.
Yeah, definitely, and BBU is going to be playing that fairly aggressively. Hicks is going to get the first kill, however, Brid already off the board, and they already have control of the site, but the Nitro goes out from BBU, and he does find the kill onto the planter. Hicks goes down, and now it's a 4v4, but the control of the site is heavily into the favor of LeStream, and they do have the book on the board. He's going to pick up the diffuser, he's going to try and get into the site info for the plant. Alphama from downstairs just take down BBU, but instantly traded out by Spark, but that's your pulse gun down. They don't have the info that the plant is going down, but Rise doesn't go and get it. Echo from below does take him down, and this is now a 3v2. Not looking too good for LeStream. Got a little bit baited into pushing the site a little bit too early before they prepared to do so, and now the Vitality is starting to come through. Let's see how it does go now. So halfway into the round, and what a shot from Uno is going to take down Sneaky. Now it's a 2v2. The extra still should be above, however, as Uno going to desperately try and stick this plant. Looks like he's going to be able to do so, and there we go. Ace gets the kill into Spark. It's all down to RX to BD to try and get this kill. It's going to be 2v1. Sees the Claymore, he pushes all the way up, but no, Aces will take him down with the AR-33. LeStream will take round number 1 in a very aggressive fashion.
They had 3 attempts there at trying to get that diffuser down, and it did eventually stick. I'm not sure why they rushed into the site so aggressively early on when there was so much deniability left on the side of the defenders. They had Echo, Maestro, and the Pulse from below. I'm not sure if maybe they were relying on the Thatcher's EMP to do a little bit too much work there in disabling all 3 of those. But ultimately it did work for them because they were able to trade off those kills. The diffuser was then in a position that they'd kind of got a bit of control of, but they were still sort of getting poked at from various angles from the defenders. Good round from LeStream. I think on another try, that maybe goes the way of Team Vitality.
Yeah, potentially. I think that intel could have been a little bit better because they had Echo, and there was no IQ coming out from LeStream, so I'm not really sure what happened to those Echo drones throughout the round, but I'm going to assume they did get shot out. Otherwise, I don't know how that really plant just goes down like that so early on.
Yeah, the Echoes must have been taken out. I'm not sure if Thatcher maybe disabled them, and it was just a case that there was too much pressure being applied to the Echo for them to be able to jump into the Yokai drone.
Well, when the EMP goes down, the Echo drone drops from the floor and starts, you can't control it anymore. So yeah, you are right. If the Thatcher did go down there, it could be easily able to pick up those Yokai drones. But we're going to move through into round number 2. Vitality clearly not favoring that defense. I'm going to switch it up and go downstairs instead, which is kind of interesting considering the mirror ban.
10 seconds left before
I think it's something that the LeStream were maybe expecting them to go first round, and Vitality have just tried a little bit of a debate on the split bomb site, which really, although it's viable, it really isn't that popular in terms of the other bomb sites that are available on Consulate. But like you say, with a mirror ban, it can make things a little bit easier, or a little bit more difficult to defend downstairs in Garage. But we're going to see a fairly heavy east control now being taken by LeStream as they're going to repel in upstairs. I don't know if I like this because I don't think they really need to take all so much control upstairs. A few pre-placed drones in the prep phase would have told them all they need to know, and they might just waste quite a bit of time here trying to drone out and clear top floor.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of time being wasted here, but I'm not really sure how much I feel good about this clash being brought because there's just so much from LeStream to counter this. They got the Zofia, they have the book, they have nades coming out. I mean, they have the Thatcher, to a certain extent, can disable the CCE shield from Clash, so...
I think it's Clash with no Jaeger. That's maybe something that is going to come unstuck because, like you say, there's a lot of throwables on the side of LeStream that they're going to be able to deal with the Clash with. Obviously, Zafir is a good operator to deal with Clash as well. And not having a Jaeger ADS there to kind of support the Clash in that role on yellow, which she's playing as aggressively as she can, but if she pushes the door, she's going to end up getting shot from the stairs. If she pushes the stairs, she's going to get shot from the door. She's already pinned in by a Claymore there, so Team LeStream are doing a really good job there of just removing the Clash from really being an issue and not allowing her any space to play.
Yeah, and talking about LeStream, they already have huge amounts of control coming out. The Clash isn't really doing much to alleviate that, and they already have control of the upstairs area. Clash just trying to play very aggressive around on the yellow stairs, but now the garage is getting opened up, and all of a sudden, this is not looking too good for RXWD to try and push around here. This is not looking too good at all. Round number 2 looking pretty good for LeStream so far. They're making good use of their time, but getting into the last minute, we really have to start thinking about where the push is going to come from. They do have garage control, and they have it opened up, and they have everything they need to go for the plant, but Team Vitality also have everything they need to deny the plant. There's still so much utility available for them, but one Nitro will go out, and it will not connect.
Yeah, some smokes would start looking pretty good on the side of LeStream, as Thermite is just going to open the other side of the garage in an attempt to gain a little bit more line of sight. And, you know, the plant has got to start coming down pretty soon. We're in the final 45 or so seconds now. This is where the fact that there's no mirror really comes in to help LeStream. Clash is going to be able to gather a lot of information, and her defenders are going to be able to peek off that information. But ultimately, it's not going to be as handy as having another gun on the site at this point, as Alpha is there going to push in and just try and plant in a default spot in front of White Van, as Clash there just gets disoriented by the Zafir, as smoke grenades start to come in. Sneaky is going to pick up a kill onto Vitality. Uno's going to trade it straight back. Another quick kill going to come out from LeStream as the diffuser is going down. Clash is going to be forced to push up, but loses a life to Hicks. 4 versus 2, the diffuser has gone down. LeStream now, all they've got to do is hold this post-plant situation. They've got upstairs control in Piano, and Brid is all but aware of that. He's making sure he doesn't take his eye off the open holes in the floor. But ultimately, it's a very tall order now for Vitality to be able to try and retake this site and get this post plant off. Rise is going to pick up the first one there onto Sneaky. 4 versus 1. Hicks going to close it out. Another round on the board for LeStream. Second successful attack in a row.
Vitality just aren't playing well together. As I said, I don't know what that Clash was adding in there at all. He played around the yellow stairs for pretty much the entire round and didn't really do anything. And then when he tried to get aggressive, he got shut down immediately. Hicks played that really well as well, because he was baiting out Clash to try and peek because he knew that the diffuser was going down. So all he has to know is that the diffuser going down. He knows that the Clash has to get aggressive now. He just has to wait until the peek comes out. Then he can peek around himself, immediately shut him down. Really well played from LeStream. They're playing quite well off their frag ability, and they're taking a lot of control very early on. Vitality aren't doing that well to bring anything that's not default here, and when they are, they're just not using it very well.
Like you say, the Clash is just not really working for them. They're choosing to go for it again on lobby. Again, you know, Consulate isn't a map that you see and you think of Clash initially, because there's long lines of sight, there's multiple crossfires that can be developed by the attackers. And I just think that Clash is going to be left a little bit wanting here. I'd have much rather seen someone try and contest Piano upstairs a little bit more last round and try and, you know, hold off the control that Book was able to get so early on and opening up the floor, because it really was crucial to how the stream were able to execute in those final seconds and get the bomb down and get the bandit batteries off. But, you know, it's all you know, subjective, because at this point, LeStream are coming in off a pretty hot, you know, couple of games with Empire. Very, very close game on Coastline. They're going to be fired up to take this first map off Vitality, and they're not really going to want to leave anything to chance. So, like you say, it's time to perform now, and I think Vitality maybe just take them a few rounds to, you know, find the stride and start getting some more kills and pick up a round on the board.
I really love the Capital coming out here from Aces. I think that's definitely going to change up the round play coming out from LeStream. They're playing a lot better together now when they were playing against Empire. We talk a lot about, you know, you've just played a best of 3. Playing another best of 3 back-to-back, that's not ideal. But when NiP came out of that, they actually came out of it pretty strong, honestly.
It's the best warm-up that you can hope for, because you're playing at a very competitive level. You know, you're playing the competition, you're playing to win. I think there really can't be any better warm-up. It mustn't have been too, well, it's not too fatiguing, because the first game wasn't so long in Clubhouse. The second map on Coastline for LeStream was a bit longer, so it makes it a bit better as a bit of a warm-up. I think, how's the diffuser gone down? There's still 9 players left on the site, and Aces is down. All 5 defenders alive, and the diffuser's gone down. Clash has done absolutely nothing to try and hold this off, but the diffuse will be being stuck by Brid, covered by the Clash. 2 quick kills come out for Vitality. The guy that's taking the diffuse is going to have all the time in the world, as all the attackers are dead. Clash played perfectly, covered the diffuse, kills were able to come out, and now they're going to get it off.
And now the ADS is going down, thank God. Yeah, I don't really know what happened.
Why was that allowed to happen?
There was Bibu playing downstairs with the pulse. He had info onto the site, and the smokes go out. The Clash should know that the plant is going down at that point. Maybe some people might be thinking, oh, it's a retake strategy, but one, that's a really bad thing to try and do in Siege, because you're not going to win a retake really normally if the attackers are playing right. What I can't understand there from LeStream is they got the plant down so early on, and then they played the post plant really badly. They were peeking everything. They were playing really aggressively What they should have done is they played much further off their utility. They know there's no ADS down because they just threw a nade in. And while the Clash was doing well to cover the post plant in terms of, actually defending him, the nade coming through, you can't actually protect him with the nade. The explosive damage doesn't damage the shield player, but it does damage whoever the shield player is playing next to. So,
like you say, it's the second round now that we've seen that LeStream have tried to plant relatively early. The first round of this map, it worked for them. They were able to attempt planting the diffuser 3 times. They, managed to trade some kills off the back of that, and ultimately they managed to pin Echo downstairs on the split bomb site, which we're back at again. But that last round, I just didn't really feel like there was any need to plant that quickly. I don't even think we'd had a minute or a minute and 30 off the time. It was just so quick. They've got a lot more time, and I hope they're just not rushing these things and trying to get through this game with Vitality, because Vitality aren't the kind of team you want to do that against. You're really going to want to take this seriously, and I think the way that they've won the first 2 attacking rounds so convincingly, and then that one just seemed to have gone a little bit pear-shaped. I don't know, I think they need to take a step back now and really just try and gain some control, establish some good lines of fight, some good lines of fire, and some good cross angles, and work off that a little bit more instead of just trying to rush the plant down.
We did mention this during the North American broadcast, but pear-shaped is a very British slang term. It just means, everything's just messed up. And yeah, that definitely just describes what's been happening in these rounds. We'll see how Vitality defend this, but what I like about this is that it's different. It's somewhere different where they can go here and they can play against strats and they can play strat heavy, whereas LeStream might not be too used to attacking this site. And before we definitely saw that where they were just trying to plant immediately when they were still having to deal with the pulse from below. It was a pretty bad clear coming out from LeStream altogether, and they lost. As you said, they were trying to plant the bomb 3 times, and 2 times they were losing the planter, not just having the plant not be able to go down because of echo drones or whatever, because of plant denial. They were dying while they were planting the diffuser. That is something that should not be happening.
LeStream are no strangers to go into a slightly off bomb site. We saw them take us to bar twice on Clubhouse, so I'm sure they're aware of this bomb site and how to attack it and all those sort of good stuff. But like you say, the fact that they're rushing it so much just seems like they maybe haven't got so much of an idea of how they want to push it. Maybe they're a little bit more prepared now, but this is a much slower push overall, and I think that it's doing them much better. Zafir there, just trying to find out if anyone's playing at the bottom of the stairs, throwing a lifeline down there, and I don't think it detonated straight away, so she's going to be pretty sure that no one's playing at the bottom of the stairs, but so much utility left on the side of Vitality in terms of plant denial, as Pulse there just going to be able to call out the position of pretty much every attacker that is left on the map at this point.
Yeah, definitely. BB still got his Nitro downstairs as well as a cardiac sensor, give off all this info, and we've still got Echo drones on the site as well. So there's still so much plant denial here for Vitality, and that is a great start as well. Sneaky does take down Alphamber, who had the diffuser, and oh my god, Baby with the Nitro from below. He takes down Uno as he tries to make his way into the site. Bridge finds another one, and now it's a 2v5, but not looking too good for LeStream here. The diffuser is down in sight, and they have 0 control. Aces moves in to try and recover the site, but no, he knows the Echo drones are above. It doesn't have any EMPs left remaining, so no real counter coming out, and they're running out of time. 35 seconds left to go on the clock. Rise is going to rotate all the way down. They have to try and find some kills, but pretty much the entire defense from Vitality right now is on the bottom floor. It's going to be a very hard push coming out indeed. Rise is going to move all the way downstairs through the down Visa stairs, but Sparky picks up 1, and it's all down to Rise in a 1v4. It does take off 1, and Sneaky goes down. But there's so much utility, there's so much info coming out from Vitality right now. It's all down to Rise to try and bring it in. The Echo drone goes out, but Spark from below does take him out. Oh no, he rotated the way up. Okay, well, really well done from Spark then to do that. And yeah, Vitality will take round number 4. Pretty good from them to even the scoreboard up here on Consulate, and such a weird offsite from them as well.
That defense is obviously the way that the Vitality envisioned it going the first time, and they obviously knew that they weren't too far away from that. That's why they went and tried it again. And you can see that having all of your denial downstairs, it's just so valuable because they're so well protected. Pulse is just able to gather so much information playing the cardiac sensor down in archives, looking up toward Visa and admin. So it makes it very, very easy for them then to just call people out and able to set up crossfires. We saw there that Vitality barely lost a man taking out the entire side of LeStream. We're going to see the Echo drone again, as well as the Clash this time, but Ace is going to switch over onto the IQ. The Echo drones there, obviously just proving a little bit too much for LeStream to deal with, and they're going to have to try and, find a way to approach these Echo drones a little bit more head-on, and, no better operator than the IQ for that purpose.
definitely so. Mute jammers will go down, and I like the fact that Sneaky's taking the bulletproof camera here. Although, I'm not sure if it's entirely necessary, and you're losing a Nitro at the same time when there's no other Nitro available, because there's a Maestro on the board. I really don't like the Clash here. Even though they did win a round with the Clash, this round where they defended with the Clash downstairs, she didn't add anything.
10 seconds left before
It's just too situational, playing the Clash on the yellow stairs, and again, there's no ADS coming out on the side of Vitality, so there's not going to be any ability to stop any grenades or any flashes that are going to come through, or even EMPs, like you say, and just sort of remove the Clash's ability from the equation and just leave it with the shield. I think there's a lot more operators that you can take in that scenario that are going to make it easier for you to be able to hold this side, because Garage is all about making sure that you're not exposing yourself from the top floor, and some more roamers would certainly go a long way into trying to keep hold of Piano a little bit longer, maybe even the pulse for the C4 toss.
I really can't understand the lack of a Jaeger here, depending on what's been happening, but just looking at the lineup that LeStream have been bringing, you've got nades on this lineup, but you also have Zofia charges, and I really thought the Ash ban went through, not just to calm down Uno just a little bit and put him on the Zofia instead, but also to just stop those Maestro cannons getting destroyed as effectively and as quickly as before. But that just doesn't seem to be happening right now from Vitality. I really don't know why not picking the Jaeger and why you're bringing the Clash instead.
Like you say, it doesn't make all too much sense. Even a Bandit at this point, because the wall got opened within the first 40 or so seconds, and that's going to allow Thermite plenty of time to get a drone in. He's even going to have enough time, and the opportunity to open the other side of the garage as well. And there is some denial that's going to be coming out, but I don't think that the Clash is really going to add much to that. Clash playing back in basement corridor, and this is the position where Clash played last time, great at gathering information. Her defending teammates are going to be able to peek off that information to a degree, but that's about all that they are going to be able to do, because she's not going to be able to push up. We've already got an attacker playing on yellow stairs, and the ceiling is open above, so it's making they're just removing Clash as a factor, and it's making it very difficult for the Clash to operate in the site with any surety.
Yeah, it definitely is, but I like that Clash is playing a little bit safer than she was last time, because she was playing right on yellow last time, and that was not a great place for her to be at all. She couldn't play aggressively around it, but we got Clash sides rotation holes here, but no, she can't quite rotate. She's going to get quite lit up though. She's moving through all the way onto the Visa stairs instead and trying to shut down that push. But LeStream starting to run out of time here to try and make their push happen. They don't have any smoke, so they don't really have any way of getting into the site. I think they just need to go in and just start planting, because there's not a lot of plant denial coming out from Vitality. There should be an IQ moving through here, just making sure there's no Echo Drone around this area.
Yeah, the Echo Drone and the Maestro and the smoke obviously coming through there are going to be all that's needed to deny this plant. And that's maybe why you say that Alpha should have possibly tried to plant that a little bit earlier, because now we're into the final 30 seconds. Smoke has got more than enough capability of zoning out a large area of that garage and making this plant very difficult to go down. Still got 10 operators left on the map at this point. Alpha's going to go deep and try and plant next to the bomb. 2 quick kills coming out, 4 versus 4. Brid making it a third. As another 2 quick kills come out, making it 3 versus 2 in favor of the defenders. Clash still available and just able to shut down the Hibana there and allow Vitality to pick up those last 2 kills with ease.
You know, I go back on what I said, my analysis at the start, where he was bringing the bulletproof cam instead of the Nitro. I think it's actually really smart to do, because if you think about it, 2 Maestro cams, 1 bulletproof cam, only 2 Zofia charges for the impacts. So there isn't actually a lot that LeStream can do to take off every single bit of info coming out. I think that helped them quite a lot, but also the Clash playing a lot more passively was a little bit better there. But LeStream just seemed to have absolutely no info on what was going on in the site, and just pushing it in the last second, right? That's the Vitality strategy. It's not LeStream's strategy.
They just needed a little bit more utility to get in and get the plant down. I like the Capital being brought now, because that's going to provide them a little bit of smoke cover, and the asphyxiating bolts, which are going to be able to zone out any Clash play that we may see. Of course, last time that LeStream attacked this bomb site, they were able to get the bomb down pretty much record time, I think, but it was just all too easy for Vitality to defend that post plant, kill all the attackers and get the defuse off. So maybe a little bit more time spent now from LeStream in taking a bit more site control, but the Capital versus the Clash is certainly going to be a more effective way of dealing with it.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that LeStream haven't been bringing the Capital more here. They did bring it a little bit ago, but I still can't think that it really did that much. And Vitality are looking really strong right now. They had a very poor start, but then all these starting to play around their strats a little bit better. And all of a sudden, I'm becoming a little bit more warmer to this Clash play because it did a decent amount on that last defense and also did a really good job on the lobby press room. So we'll see how it goes down again. Although I still think that LeStream are kind of defeating themselves at this point.
They came out really hot and they picked up the first couple of rounds relatively easily. And then all of a sudden it's shifted and Vitality picked up 3 on the bounce. So they've got the momentum at this point. This is the last round of this phase, which can be very important. It's all going to be about how LeStream are able to take on their defensive rounds. I think they'd be very happy to come out of this 3 rounds apiece for the first phase. But like you say, it just seems like Vitality have just taken a couple of rounds to get into the swing of things, and they seem to be doing very well from here. LeStream taking a little bit more time over this push this time, which I think that's to be expected due to how it went last time. They just need to calm down a little bit and understand that the game with Empire's been and gone. They've not really got the momentum leading into this game anymore. And I think they just need to set themselves up for good takes, good pushes, try and get the bomb down, and try and be able to defend that post plant, because that's something that they've struggled to do so far.
Rise getting very aggressive here to try and push in onto the yellow stairs. I like this push coming out from LeStream this time, but oh my god, the Clash is going to move all the way up. Rise just has to get out of there. That's great rotate ability coming out from the Clash there. It's like Rise is going to have to make his way into the garage instead, but yeah, BBU's playing around this as well, and I don't think they know that BBU's here. He has a great opportunity to play around the Clash and do it very, very well, because LeStream are going to be very worried about this Clash just pushing up on them in yellow. But BB's going to be there as well. He has also a pulse down below with a nitro, with a cardiac sensor. He has the ability to push out that intel. I love this rotate strategy coming out from Vitality. This Clash is actually really smart from them all of a sudden.
The Clash is doing a lot of good work, and like you say, BBU is operating now in Garage. I think pretty much unknown to LeStream. I'm not sure that they're fully aware of his presence. All he's got to do is just hold that angle patiently and wait for the Hibana to make her way in. But of course, the Clash is providing really good zoning, really good crowd control for the attackers that ultimately are going to start running out of time very shortly as we move into the final 50 seconds. You can see angles being opened up here by Aces, just trying to find anything that he can down onto the site. Full upstairs control has been taken, but it's not really going to matter all too much. There's still a lot of deniability left on the side of Vitality. Again, we're getting ourselves into the final 30 or so seconds of the round, and we've got 10 operators left remaining.
Yeah, there's still so much remaining. 30 seconds left to go. This is not looking too good for LeStream. They have to try and push in and get control quickly, but they haven't deployed a lot of their utility. But BB is going to go down. Oh my god, how do you lose that fight? Ace is taken down instantly. We'll see the push starting to come through. The Clash very, very low now. It's starting to get pushed out from all sides, but she's doing a great job to try and shut down this attack coming through. But the Capital just push all the way up. Aces gets a double kill, and Alphama finishes off the Clash. LeStream take round number 6. Very, very well played from them coming out, but they've only managed to even the scoreboard out 3 apiece.
You've got to be pleased with that as LeStream. They didn't really look like they were going to do all too much that last round, and then it kind of all came in a flurry at the end, which is something that we've seen them struggle with earlier on this evening, is the time management. And I think it's got to be attested to that Clash. I know we were both very skeptical of it when we first saw it come out, and then as Vitality developed and, you know, kind of got a bit more comfortable with how they were going to play the Clash and how they were going to play around it, more importantly, you know, it started to work really well for them. If BBU gets that kill onto the Hibana downstairs, maybe that's a little bit different, because, you know, it would have removed another member from the team and they would have still had a nitro below. So it was a very, very close round, but LeStream edged it in the end, and now we're going to switch sides, and it's going to be LeStream's turn to see what they can do in defending Consulate.
Now, Consulate does tend to go into the favor of defenders, so this scoreline isn't quite what I was expecting, but again, we can't really rely on the stats too heavily, and we've seen a lot of 50-50 games so far.
I think we're just getting to the point where the competition's so high and the teams are operating at such a level that they're really, really planning out how they're going to do this, how they're going to execute their attacks. And it does just come down to very small gunfights, very small mistakes. Like I say, if the Pulse was left alive that last round, there could have been a double nitro kill coming out there. You just do not know. And they can be the kind of things that shift the tide. So, like you say, LeStream have got to be pretty pleased coming into this 3-3, especially with them moving now onto the defense. They're going to take us upstairs to a bomb site that we didn't actually see Vitality attempt to defend.
I think they're going to get very, very aggressive with this right now. You see Uno, he's ready for that spawn peek coming out from admin. I'm pretty sure he's just going to try and peek it out, but it doesn't look like anyone is ready to contest him on that. Aces, Uno, and Rise all holding down to admin, which is a pretty typical take, and when you don't have a Glaz as well available, you might see that come through. But there is Glaz on the board, but no one's been taking them.
EU just don't want to play Glaz, it seems. It's something that we've seen banned out a heck of a lot in other regions, but it's been available for a couple of the games this evening, and we've not seen any Glaz play. But you know, there's reasons for that. I'm sure they're just opting to have you know, different operators available to them. The IQ is going to, you know, prove pretty crucial, especially with Echo being available there. Rise just going to push down pretty aggressively, but it's going to be Aces that picks up the first kill onto the Zafir. Hicks putting the pump shotgun to very good work as well. Quickly, this is looking pretty good for LeStream. 2 kills within the opening minute is nothing to be grumbled at. Third, Rise is going to take out Bibu at the bottom of yellow. And all of a sudden it looks very, very difficult for Vitality to come back from this. They've got 2 operators remaining, and it's going to be Spark actually. He's stood on the ledge at the top of yellow stairs on the skylight. He's just going to drop down, and it's going to remove him from being able to peek that quite nice angle. At this point, LeStream aren't really going to be pushing anything. They don't need to peek. There's still a lot of time left on the clock, and it's very doable for Vitality to get these couple of kills and try and break these engagements down into winnable 1 versus 1s. But LeStream are just going to hold tight. There's no need for them to push anything, and they're not going to want to throw away this round.
Yeah, not just quite yet, but Vitality in a very aggressive position now. They need to start taking gunfights, and there comes the first one. Spark will find the kill onto Uno. There's a dot going down, so a big amount of frag potential going down from LeStream, but Vitality start to need to work through them. And this will be a 4v2. They can start to play a little bit closer. They've got plenty of time to work with. They have a decent amount of utility on the board, of course, as well. Both on yellow, just trying to push it up desperately, but LeStream, they know where they are, and they have plenty of planted out, but Spark makes another entry kill. There goes Aces. That's a great entry kill coming up from Vitality. That's exactly the space that they needed. And now it's a 3v2. The situation has changed. Now they can start to play a little bit safer and start to bait out utility. And the last smoke will come down from Hicks. Some really early smokes coming down before to try and push the yellow. Oh, sorry, he still had one more. So there he goes. There goes the last smoke finally, but he's playing the top of these stairs. He's got the pump shotgun, and you can tell he's ready. He's like, come on, peek me, do it, but I'm going to peek you, and you're going to go down, and you're going to go down, and Hicks gets the double kill. Beautiful. 3K from Hicks to finish out the round. LeStream take round number 7.
You see the pump shotgun come out there, and you just know that it's time. It's time for pump shotty time, and what better place than yellow stairs? Great job there from Vitality in picking up a couple of kills, but ultimately, I think that it was LeStream maybe being a little bit too reckless and using that man advantage to their favour at that point. Maybe peeking things that they didn't really need to peek. It's okay because it worked out for them, and they had plenty of plenty of wiggle room, if you will, left within that round. But yeah, good round from LeStream, very well defended. Great 2 opening kills, which really shifted it into their favour. I was really hoping we were going to see the Ella, but we're going to 6-pick over onto the Echo there. But it's a great bait because it has forced Bibu to actually move off the IQ.
Yeah, that's really good actually coming out there. So, you know, he's going to move off that IQ thinking there's no Echo being brought. So there's no reason to be on this right now. He can switch over to the Habana. They can bring double hard breach here, which is always very useful on Consulate. And we'll see how that goes down. We're actually going to go to this split bomb site, which I didn't think LeStream was going to go to, considering how they attacked it. Didn't seem like they were very used to this, but clearly they have a strategy in mind. This is interesting as well, because he's putting those castles down, and he's putting the reinforcements down as if there was a mirror there. But of course, there's no mirror available. No mirror to play off, but the castles still provide good utility in terms of trying to slow down the push. Zafir being available, of course, will be brought and is very capable of dealing with those castles. But I think the thing that I really like about this split bomb site is it can be really difficult as the attackers to sort of round up the defenders and understand which way they want to push, because the utility can, is deployed over split floors anyway in the fact that there's, a split bomb site. But then as soon as you start, investing a little bit upstairs as well, the attackers have really got to take good control of a lot of the map to be able to do anything with it and to try and, execute a push or get a plant off. So I do really like this split bomb site for that reason. Yeah, and it can be pretty good indeed. We've seen some odd sites, as you said before, from LeStream. We saw a bar defense coming out from there. It didn't quite work out for them as they wished, but Vitality, on the other hand, should be very used to attacking this because they just took it twice and they know how to defend it well. But I think LeStream are taking the opposite strategy to what they did because they're holding very, very heavily upstairs, and they can play off that vertical play as it does come down. Something I want to mention as well from the previous round is that Rise played really well against the Book from Vitality by using the pump shotty, and that can't be undervalued because the Book can really start to tear you apart on Consulate. We definitely saw that coming out during the LATAM games.
there's so much destructibility on Consulate, and a lot of it is underutilized. Most of the top floor is able to be destroyed. And you can see what I was saying earlier about Vitality now. They're being forced to take upstairs as well as focusing on the levels that the bomb site are on. And all the while, Uno is allowed as the Pulse to just gather all this information and figure out where the push is going to be coming from by using his cardiac sensor downstairs in Archives. So it really does make it difficult for the attackers to round anybody up. Surely going to go for at least a shoot through the floor. There it is. I don't think he's quite going to manage to connect. Doesn't really want to waste his nitro at this point. There's still a minute left, and he knows he's got his teammates upstairs that are going to be fending off the push for him, as well as Aces picks up a kill onto Sneaky, so Zofia no longer a factor.
Yeah, he needs to save this nitro to deny the plant rather than anything else, because, of course, they don't really have too much plant now. They do have the Echo and they do have the smoke, but definitely hard to try and get those into position, but Vitality not bringing the IQ here, it could be definitely bad for them. Moving into round number 8, however, but 50 seconds left to go on the clock, and there we go. Oh, it's gonna be Capital. Just repelling outside, he's gonna take down Aces. And there goes admin control. Oh my god! RXWD just runs in there. He doesn't care. He just takes him down. BB finds one. Capital bolts are going to start to go down. BB in a very precarious position here. He's on a sliver of HP. Flashbangs are going to come down. He's going to try and get into sight. Smokes go through as well, but Uno below does have nitro available to him. He's going to see the plant going down, and he'll be able to deny it easy as that. There we go, phone call made, and Uno denies the plant. So now we're 2v3, but LeStream looking very, very good right now. Vitality do recover the diffuser. Uno just trying to try and push all the way around, but he hits the drone and gets peeked out. It's all down to Alpha to try and get the vertical play on the go and try and deny the plant going down, but it is going to go down on top of the table. Alpha cannot deny the plant. He's now in a 1v3. It's a post-plant situation. He's going to rotate all the way up Spiral to see what kind of frags he can bring here, but peeking out slowly but surely, takes out the Echo drone, sorry, takes out the normal drone as he tries to push around, but he cannot deal with that Capital. He's going to push all the way up, but he's a very slow boy. He's going to try and push up and go for the pre-fires, but no, he can't quite find him. They know where he is. He doesn't have a lot of options, and he's running out of time. He's going to push all the way up, but still going for the pre-fires and desperately trying to win this gunfight, but he's being locked out of the situation. There we go. BB finally going to finish him off. Vitality take round number 8.
I like the fact that the Pulse was able to save his nitro for the plant, but the plant just came in a little bit too early for it to be that much of a factor. There was no Yokai drones left, despite the fact that they managed to debate out that IQ pick. It was looking like a really good round for LeStream, and I loved the way that they defended it, but it just wasn't quite enough. Vitality just came in with a slew of kills and ultimately ended up taking the round, really keeping things even at 4 rounds apiece. We're now going to go back to lobby and press room, and we've got the Vigil and the Ela this time, so surely we're going to see one of those guys 6 picked out of, and I'm not sure if it's going to be changed over for the Echo yet again. Yes, it is, and no IQ coming out on the side of Vitality this time, but we've got a Thatcher. Thatcher obviously very good at dealing with those Yokai drones as well.
I don't like the fact that Vitality weren't using their 6 pick there, just because if you have it, you might as well use it. You might as well just save one of the operators you were intending to bring in your lineup. But we are going to move through. It's going to be round number 9 getting underway. And we'll see exactly how Vitality want to take this during their attack. They've had a pretty good attack so far, and they've had a pretty poor one as well. But we'll see how it does work out as we go back to the lobby press room. But this time for LeStream's defense. And I love the Capital here from Vitality. I think he can add a lot to this push. And we saw the same thing with LeStream, because when they attacked here, they were Capital bolting in and punting immediately.
Yeah, and it was down to the clash that was able, that really aided the defuse on that plant as well. What's your thought about no Maestro being chosen here? I think Maestro and Lobby seems to be quite a good combination. There's a lot of long lines of sight you can get, the ability to be able to see through the smokes. A lot of Lobby plants come down under the cover of a smoke, and not really bringing the Maestro there just begs a little bit of a question.
Yeah, I don't really like it. I feel like LeStream should be bringing a Maestro here, and we saw as well in their Empire game they just weren't bringing Maestro really at all. They didn't really bring it at all during their first map. They brought it a little bit more during their second map, but I don't know. I really don't like the fact that an Ashe is banned out here, and we are not seeing any of that going down.
Like you say, with the Ashe ban, it does seem to make quite a bit of sense to bring the Maestro, and especially with the ADS as well, because as soon as you've lost those 2 Zofia lifelines, it's going to be very, very easy to get those out on ADS tricks and keep your Maestros Evil Eyes safe. Bit of a slower push this time coming out from Vitality. They seem very focused on taking good top floor control, which is very important. However, with no book, they're going to struggle to make any sort of damage upstairs or renovation when they do gain that top floor control, but LeStream are not going to give it up so easily. We've got Vigil and Echo both playing upstairs as we get to about the halfway point in the round now. It's going to be time for the push to start coming through from Vitality, and they need to decide where that is. Without really doing all too much apart from just being upstairs, Vigil's able to waste a heck of a lot of time, and Rise is coming up now as well to assist that, planting down some ADSs that are just going to enable Yellow stairs to be, or maybe he's even taking them up because the push isn't coming from Yellow. He's going to redeploy them elsewhere.
I think he took it off as well because the Thatcher is just about to come down, and wow, sneaky on the cross, and he finds another one through the connector window. No one is contesting this right now from LeStream, and they just start to drop like flies. Uno's going to peek it on the console window. He does pick up Spark, but that's the Thatcher gun down. That's not a massive amount of utility, but it is a pick nonetheless. But this is a 4v3, but not only that, your Echo is dead.
Echo's certainly not the operator that you want to be losing at any point in the round. Drone work going to come through now as Uno looks like he's ever so tempted to peek out onto the Capital on the rappel, but he's going to save that and save his life. We've got Aces now rotating back down onto site as the plant is certainly going to look to start going down at some point now from Vitality. Aces looks like he just saw a drone there, and I think his game sense is telling him that someone's going to be pushing up from either the window or the bottom of Spiral. So we're just going to hold that for a couple of seconds. It looks as though Bibu isn't really giving anything up at this point. All going to be about who holds that angle for longer. Smoke grenades are going to come out as it does force Aces to make that push in as the attackers are pushing up. Uno does get the kill onto Brid. Ace is getting another one onto RX. Bibu though does manage to pick up the kill onto Aces. Hicks making this a 2 versus 1 now. Bibu's got it all to do. The default cam is still up, so the defenders have got good information. He picks up the bomb. 3 seconds left, not enough time. Hicks gets the shotgun to close out the round. LeStream with a really good defense there.
Instantly well played coming out from LeStream especially, but you mentioned it right at the end there, where you figure there's a push coming from there because there's a drone sitting there, right? And Aces sees the drone coming out. He knows that top floor is clear, so he knows, yeah, someone probably going to push up Spiral, and that's great game sense. And the game sense is telling him, is that like Spidey sense?
It is Spidey sense. Game sense is... you can't describe it, you can't learn it. It's just something that you just got to get it. You got to get bitten by Rainbow Six Siege,
yeah,
and that gives you your siege senses.
Is that the title of the next song coming out from Panari's new album? Game sense from Aces. But we'll see how it goes down as we'll see round number 10 getting underway. LeStream looking very, very good indeed. We'll see exactly how that does go through. Still no Maestro, but they are bringing the Clash.
They're obviously trying to emulate the good success that Vitality had with the Clash, but Vitality didn't bring the Clash on this bomb site because they didn't defend this bomb site. This is probably the least likely bomb site I would see bringing a Clash on, just because of how many crossfires are able to be established by the attackers on here. And you know, if you put it out to a vote, you know, a Clash versus a Maestro on this, I think everyone's going to be picking Maestro. But I'm really excited to see what Alpha's going to be able to do with it. I'm sure they've got a bit of a plan as to how they're going to deploy this utility, because we haven't seen a whole lot of Clash play so far. But we seem to have come to Consulate, and it's been almost a constant pick.
It definitely has been. I think Vitality have been playing a little bit better than LeStream has around the Clash. I mean, we haven't really seen any Clash from LeStream yet, but just looking at the way they've set up, Vitality had a lot of these like Clash-sized rotate holes going around, and you do make a good point. It doesn't make a huge amount of sense to bring a Clash here on the top floor when there are so many crossfires you can set up, and the Vitality have been playing the windows so well so far. I really just don't like the Clash here, and also the amount of utility that Vitality have to deal with the Clash, the Zofia and the Capitao here, as well as the Thatcher in a way. I just don't like it.
It's also a very big round as well for the team of LeStream, because they're not going to want to drop this round. If they win this round, they're going to go to match point. That's going to make their road just a little bit easier. So far, this map has been very neck and neck. Last time they defended up in Console, they won the round. I'm not sure why they're trying to do all too much different this time, because it was a fairly convincing win as well. They managed to pick up 2 very early picks, making it a 5 versus 3, pretty much straight off the rip. So yeah, the Clash does just seem a little bit strange, as you can see. Clash there, Alpha just maybe redeployed himself over toward the admin side if that's where he feels like the push is going to be coming from. But No real control being gained yet by Vitality. We've got a foothold inside of admin with Zafir, but no one's really peeking onto the Zafir there, so she's not really gaining anything, but she's also not really doing any harm at this point, because it seems as though the members of LeStream are going to be very well placed deeper into the west side to you know, back that push up from when it comes.
We also got Uno's Echo drones just placed strategically, one on each site here. I see Sneaky has made his way up here, but I don't like the fact that no one is pushing with him. If you have admin control, it could be a really good beachhead to push it through. There should be Habana just rotating that way as well, and they can open up projectile like that, and they can just push in through there. But Vitality are all over the place right now. They are going to start moving in a little bit more, and you see Spark, and we'll see the Capitão moving through onto the balcony. Hopefully it should go fairly well for them in terms of execute, but they've still got so much to deal with. There's still 10 members up, and this is kind of like a classic Vitality push as well.
Yeah, a little bit slow, a little bit considered. They're just sort of waiting for something, you know, they're waiting for a chink in LeStream's armor to come up. And I don't think that it's going to really come, because they're just sort of playing out on the balcony. The smoke grenades are going to come out from LeStream, which is really going to make things very difficult now. A lot of deniability over on the A side. Brid does open things up with a kill onto Aces. Lesion no longer a factor, but Alpha is still able to defend in the site. RXW taking the initiative, jumping in and getting the knife onto the... Sorry, it was Brid that got the knife onto it, but RX getting the kill. Hicks picking up one as well. 4 versus 3, tide has turned. Vitality, it's all of a sudden looking very good for you guys. The Yokai drone is going to come out. RXWD is going to pick up another kill onto Hicks. 2 versus 4, the diffuser is in the hands of Brid. The plant will not go down, it's been denied. LeStream picking up another round on defense.
Really well played by them, just to play off the fact that Vitality didn't bring an IQ there, and Uno, he knows. He doesn't have to peek. He knows what Vitality are going to do. He knows they're going to push at the very last second. You see that all the push and utility went down from them in the last 30 seconds of the round. That is a classic Vitality push. They did it pretty much all the way through into Pro League. It didn't work for them there. It's not going to work for them here.
Do you think the clash enabled that a little bit to a degree, and it was a really key factor of keeping hold of theatre room control?
I don't think so, honestly, because you see that Vitality were taking control, and you were kind of making the point that, yes, they were waiting for a chink in the armor, but I think they were just taking control and just kind of waiting for ages. They were waiting until the timer had run down to the point where they had to push, then they were putting down their utility, and you saw that they didn't really even deploy any utility to deal with the clash. They kind of ran in there and just smacked him about a bit. But yeah,
you can't always wait that late when there's an echo still there as well.
Yeah,
the echo that puts that round out.
There's an echo on the board and you don't have an IQ. You really just need to push in and get quickly in there so you know where they're down. But you can just put down EMPs as well to know where those echo drones are. I think Vitality played it well, and if there wasn't an echo on the board, that last echo push would have actually worked out quite well for them. I think Alphama didn't play that clash very well at all. He's way too aggressive with that.
It's difficult because, you know, they won the round, they wasted a lot of time. Would they have won it if they'd have had a different operator? Potentially. It's going to be a moot point at this point, because I think LeStream probably don't really care about the previous round, because now they're on match point, 6-4. They're looking very good to take this. Last time we saw Garage was over on before the tide has turned, and the defenders actually won that as well. LeStream did win it on attack, so far we've seen it go both ways, one apiece. Not really much precedent to go off here, but Vitality haven't attacked here yet, and I think that's going to be the key factor as to, you know, what they're going to bring to this. They've got the double hard breach, which is going to make things a little bit easier, as well as having the Thatcher. Here, the exothermic charge has already gone off, so Garage Wall will be open within the first 35 seconds, which is pretty big. Bibu a little bit aware that someone could be playing in piano. 2 kills going to come out. Bibu's going to find Rise in deep in. Oh, and the plant is coming down as well. Aces is going to deny that plant. He goes for the run out, but he gets punished for it. I'm not sure what's going on here, but it's going to be 2 versus 3, essentially, because we've got a player downed on the defending side. The Yokai drone is still up. The plant is now going to be going down for a second time. The Yokai drone is able to deny that plant, but the drone is lost in the process. Clash now left upstairs. Clash, surely, as one of the only gunners left, has got to push away down yellow and try to attempt to retake this side, but no, the defuse is going to go down. LeStream are going to find themselves very, very difficult position here, trying to take this. Sneaky's going to peek out and get the kill. Bibu, another one. Bibu making it a second. Great round from Vitality. They took a lot of initiative there. I think how quickly they got the garage door open really helped them out.
Yeah, really helped them out as well, but Vitality there reckoned, I think that we took that way too slow in the last round. Let's just push. Let's just push immediately. And yeah, it worked out way better for them. I mean, if you don't have the IQ, you just need to push in immediately, and you need to force those Echo drones out of hiding. And that just worked out perfectly for Vitality. I honestly don't think that anything went wrong for them there. They played that perfectly. Their execute was amazing. And LeStream were just completely caught off guard by it.
Yeah, they weren't ready for it at all, like you say. The Echo drones just got baited out. The Clash just was removed from the equation because of how quickly they pushed. And at the point where Clash has got a pistol out trying to pick up some kills, you know that things haven't really gone to plan. You can see here that there's going to be one late 6-pick Spark. Just going to switch over from one SAS operator to the other. Thatcher over to Sledge there. The IQ is going to be here. I really don't know why they're bringing the Clash yet again. It just really didn't work for them last time. The way that Vitality were able to get the garage door open so quickly, it just removed it from being a factor. LeStream still on match point, still only 1 round away, but overtime is looming.
Yeah, just 1 round away from Vitality to bring this into overtime, of course. We'll see how it goes down. I think that also LeStream need to get off this Clash because it is not working out for them. They're not doing anything with it. Unlike Vitality, who initially they played the Clash fairly badly and he was playing way too aggressively, they ended up playing the map quite heavily around the Clash, and it actually worked out quite well for them. But I can't help but think that LeStream, they just went against the Clash. It was so hard for them to push through, and now they think they can just take it and it'll just work.
They should. I think that LeStream are going to be able to hold on to the garage door for a little bit longer this time. They've not got the Thatcher. They 6-picked out onto the Sledge, which is going to mean they need to take upstairs control, and they need to try and open up, remove the bandit from being able to bandit trick or just shoot off any pre-placed bandits. They've got double hard breach, so they do make the job a little bit easier for themselves there on Vitality. That's going to enable them, if the bandit is going to try and trick, it's going to be a little bit easier to open that door. But the Clash needs to be playing upstairs if that's the case, because the Clash is going to want to try and buy the defenders left on the site as much time as possible. Clash is useful later on, but I think a lot of the value comes in trying to slow down the attacking, the initial attack push. It doesn't really come, there's not too much value in a Clash really later on into the round as it's progressed and as the kills have started to come through, because usually at that point you're going to need a gun.
Yeah, you do need a gun, and I think that, Joystick again mentioned this in his interview, that he thinks that LeStream have really good gun skill, but they don't have great strats. And I just think if you're going to play off your gun skill and you're going to play aggressively like that, your Clash needs to not be part of your lineup. I think this is really affecting their ability to really push against Vitality, but again, Vitality moving a little bit too slow here. They've not taken too much control, and they are starting to slowly take control of the top floor, but this is way too late. They should be moving way quicker than this right now.
Yeah, especially considered how quickly they moved last time and how well it worked for them. I'm pretty surprised to see such a slow push coming out this time. Ace is just making sure that no one's going to be playing over in admin. Not playing too aggressively, maybe even going to try and rotate his way back onto site at this point. Minute and 15 left on the clock. His value is going to be downstairs in the site, or maybe trying to pick up a kill on the way. But ultimately the push has got to start coming out pretty soon from Vitality. Sophia is still upstairs, just holding an angle. She's got a Claymore on that, so I'm not too sure why she's still holding it, but they're going to lose the IQ, which is going to be a very big pick there from Uno with the bandit, and he's just heard a goo mine as well go off on spiral stairs. This is a little bit better because Hicks has been allowed to get himself into the late game, and now Uno's going to be able to play off him. Ace is going to pick up a kill onto Bibu, so Hibana no longer a factor as well, and he's going to make that another one, picking up the kill onto Spark. 5 versus 2, this looks very, very good for LeStream. Sneaky going to trade it straight back out, however, bringing it down to a 4 versus 2. Still looking pretty good for LeStream at this point. Clash now able to do Clash things and deny access through the garage wall. Sneaky just peeking out on, going to find the head of Uno as Uno aggressively peeks up. No real need for that aggression, but it is late on, only 15 or so seconds remaining. Sneaky's going to drop the hatch, make his way through to pipes. Pushing down on the corridor. There's going to still be yokai drones out, which are going to help to deny any plant that may come through. Sneaky does find the kill onto Alpha, but Rise trades that straight back out. Clash is doing absolutely everything to deny this plant, and it is going to work. LeStream are going to take the first map.
Members of LeStream, can you please stop peeking the man who's on Sophia and he's on a mission? 3 people died because they're completely out of position, but in the end, it worked out for them, but my golly, that man almost clutched that completely.
Sneaky did a great job there of nearly just, like you say, clutching out the whole round. You can see there he finished on 12 and 9. Aces and Hicks Hicks, despite his little clash appearance, still managed to get 10 kills. So doing some really good work for his team indeed. What a great first map. I think it was so back and forth for the majority of it. We came out of the first phase 3-3, very important. Both, neither team really showing all too much, dominance in that. I think the scoreline was maybe attributed a little bit more to mistakes and, quick pushes that came out. We did see a lot of speed and aggression from both sides there, and it really did play out. It showed when the teams maybe took a little bit more time, they were able to execute maybe in a little bit of a neater fashion.
Yeah, definitely. It's been interesting as well because, again, I see no Glaz coming out.
Glaz available and no Glaz. Didn't see a lot of Maestro at all. Despite Hicks's performance on Maestro on Coastline against Empire, we just didn't see it come out. We saw him, opting for the clash, which was just something really weird. But like you say, no Glaz on Consulate. Glaz on Consulate can be very powerful, especially for any sort of lobby attack.
Yeah, no, he definitely can. Glaz is the man, hopefully. As we will see, like a Glaz console push is pretty typical. You smoke out the windows, you can play off it very, very well. Maybe you have a Capital in the mix as well. And you can just push console like that. But we had no one really playing around console windows. Well, there was one person that he just got deleted by Uno. So no one wanted to do that console push, and I just couldn't understand why. Where's the Glaz coming out? It's available. It's right there. You could just pick it. You could just take it. I just don't understand. I feel like it does come back to that point we were making about Mirror, how usually you'll see a Mirror ban pretty much every single map. Really, really heavy ban rate coming out. I think it was around 65% ban rate last Pro League season. So, yeah, like really, really, really high ban rate coming through. So maybe teams aren't just used to having that Glaz in the lineup?
Yeah, definitely. It's when an operator becomes available that's usually an operator that's been banned out or restricted. Teams learn to adapt and sometimes straying away from that and straying away from things that have been well practiced and pushes that have been well established. We don't see all too much variation in the operators that are brought. Yeah. So as soon as a Glaz comes into the mix, it can really start to throw things up. And attack rounds were working for both teams. Would a Glaz have made it a little bit easier or a little bit better? Perhaps. There was a lot of rounds that we saw on Garage where Jaeger wasn't brought. I mean, Glaz pushing through down into Garage with the smokes would have made things a little bit different, but ultimately, LeStream are going to take that first map 7-5, very well deserved, but very, very close indeed. And now we're going to be moving on to Border.
Yeah, Border's a bit of an interesting one, and I'm not sure how I feel about this because this was Vitality's map pick. LeStream did pick to go to Consulate, so typically you do see teams do much better on their own map pick, and don't forget, I mean, before with the old map ban system, it was kind of like you could lose the map bans, you could be taken to 3 maps you didn't like, but with this, you can't really lose map bans. You will inevitably pick a map that you do want to play. What is Vitality's record on Border, out of interest?
Vitality has played Border a grand total of 1 time. LeStream haven't yet played it in this in these qualifiers, but I mean, you say that you're looking to win your own map pick. Does there become a point where Border is just such like a staple map that usually a team's got a really good idea of what they're going to try and do on it, and if it gets let through, it just kind of comes down to individual plays on the night?
We brought this up during the August matches, where they were picking Border, and we kind of brought it back into the fact that maybe it's because, and maybe they're doing so well on Border, because it's a very linear map. And a lot of teams, as you said, they have a great idea of what they want to do there. It does tend to be very 50-50. So, yeah, I'd say Oregon and Border are 2 of the best maps of teams like that, who are a little bit uncoordinated. And, yeah, August did pick that. And it's kind of weird to see Vitality pick it up when LeStream, I think, should benefit more from a Border picker.
Yeah, I think you're right. The Border pick certainly benefits LeStream in the sense that they're going to want to take control of the key areas that we often talk about, CCTV, office, fountain. They're going to be crucial areas regardless of the bomb site that you're going to be attacking onto for Border. And those areas can often be very well won out in a nice little gunfight, deploying a little bit of utility on the way to try and root out any defenders that could be lurking in those locations. But you're going to rely on a lot of gun skill to get you into the building on Border. And that can benefit a team like LeStream, which, we've seen they're very good on the gun skill side of things, very good at taking good map control, but sometimes the pushes are just left a little bit wanting and their executes when it comes down to attack. but like you say, it doesn't really make much difference to them because they are able to pick up the rounds and they are able to pick up the maps.
It's interesting you make that point because we saw that one round from Vitality, how they were right at the last second trying to push in, and inevitably they just ran out of time. But then the next round, immediately, they're already in the site and planting within a minute. So it's really up and down and all over the place with Vitality. I think they're quite good at recognizing what they did wrong in the last round and trying to work on it. But that adaptation needs to come through quicker. It needs to be coming through in the middle of the round, not in the next round after.
Yeah, this was something that we've talked about quite a lot, is the adaptation, and being able to make decisions on the fly and change things up is very important, and that is the stamp of a good team and a well-experienced team. But we are going to be jumping straight into Border now. Let's have a look and see what these map bans have in store for us.
Yeah, what do you think the operator bans are going to be through here? Yeah, so let's see how it does go down. As you see, the Glass ban coming through here for LeStream. So, despite the fact that Glass wasn't even played at all, they will still ban it out. I think the Glass is a little bit more powerful here on Border, though, especially for a box take. If you want to play the Glass very, very aggressively.
Yeah, Glass can certainly be a powerful operator, like you say. We've not seen him picked the last few times that he has been available, but for Border, he does bring a lot of value. Interesting ban of the Dockerby there.
I actually really like that because we saw Aces play quite a lot of Dockerby during their match on Coastline against Empire. So they may have been looking at that and looking at how good Aces is there, and they may just ban it out just because they don't want to deal with that here, especially on Border. Mirror going to get banned out. It's a pretty standard ban coming out from Vitality. I think that LeStream are probably going to ban out the Echo. They could ban out the Maestro, though. No. I actually really like that. That's a really good target ban coming out because, as we said, Vitality played the Clash way better than LeStream did.
Yeah, they certainly did, and I like it because it kind of removes the distraction of Clash being there to be picked, because some of the Clash play we saw was a little bit questionable, some of the Clash play that we saw was very good, but by removing it from the equation within the map bans, it's going to force the teams to pick different operators, and it does, of course, mean that both Echo and Maestro are going to be available.
Yeah, Echo and Maestro both left available. That's kind of interesting, but I don't think the Maestro is going to be too much of an issue, just because, you know, there's Zofia and Ash both available, so it shouldn't be too bad to take out those Maestro cams. You got plenty of stuff to deal with it. But at the same time, I think the Echo is going to be a big problem here for Vitality, because last-second pushes combined with the fact you're not bringing IQ most rounds, that is going to just devastate you.
Echo's an operator that the value is just incredibly high in those final few seconds, and like you say, if Uno manages to keep his drones alive for long enough, with no IQ being brought out, we've not seen a whole lot of IQ this evening between these two teams. Anyway, we've seen a couple of rounds, but I think, like you say, it's going to prove so valuable. I really like what they're doing there, reinforcing the triple. It's just going to allow them to keep good control of offices, which it's really, offices are seen as quite an important place when you're going to start attacking onto B site. You know, it's something we talk about often. You're going to want to take good control of offices as an attacker, good control of CCTV, and then be able to push on through and try and execute your plan onto Archive and Armory, two objectives. So investing that utility over in offices just really removes it from being like a freebie for the attackers.
It definitely does, but we're going to move through into round number 1. And the action phase here for Vitality beginning on the attack here on Border. As I said, you know, Vitality, this is their map pick, but I really think LeStream is going to come out the better team here, but you can't quite say that for certain. Vitality might have a few interesting things up their sleeve. As you said, they have already played it once during the qualifier.
Yeah, I mean, LeStream are well on the way now. They've had a good showing this evening. They've played 4 maps and they've won 2 of them so far, so they've got to be pretty pleased with that as a result so far this evening. Moving in onto Border, they're going to look to want to close this out. They're not really going to want to take this to a 3rd map, and I think that's going to be reflected in the way that we see them play now. You can see there that RX is just going to be making his way over to main Armory wall and making sure that all the static cams have gone out of the way first. 2 hard breaches available, so you'd usually see the thermite being deployed on there, and I think they're just trying to avoid any sort of bandit trick there by putting both of them on at the same time, opening up into CCTV and all of a sudden RX has found himself in quite an open situation. Fortunately for him, there's going to be no defenders challenging behind half wall, and he's just going to be allowed to, you know, figure out what he's going to do from here, make his way on into the site if he so wishes, but there's going to be plenty of utility there from LeStream to deny any push.
The lack of flashbangs here is kind of confusing coming out from RX, although I do kind of understand it, but oh my god. Ace is going to go for the run out there, but does immediately get picked up by the Claymore from Spark. That's not good at all. We'll see LeStream in a bit of a 5v4 at the moment. They've lost the Jaeger, so it's not a massive loss coming out from them, but that is still a man advantage to Vitality, who are starting to make good progress. They've opened up the armory wall, and this is going to be looking pretty good for them to try and go for their execute, but they don't have any smokes, they don't really have anything to actually get control of the site. I would really like to see a Ying at some point from them, honestly.
Yeah, Ying, maybe even a Book. We saw some great grenade throws yesterday on Latin America, some sort of pre-decided spots, and you understand where the grenade's going to land and go. They could be very handy. Of course, we've got the Sledge, who has got the grenades as well, but you know, the ability to open up the floor in Armory is something that really can't be overlooked. And it looks as though RX is just trying to wait and see if he can find anything, but ultimately, there's no reason for LeStream to start peeking anything now. RX does find the head of Hicks. What a fantastic kill that was. Hicks just rotating through, losing the smoke in the final 30 seconds. Not a good thing at all. The plant will almost certainly be coming down anytime soon. Alpha very well placed to deny with a C4, however, as the push does come in from the main door. Yokai drones are going to be deployed as well, which is all going to aid in this last second push from Vitality. Alpha there picking up his first kill. Is he going to find the second? C4 throw comes out. Doesn't quite land it. Shots. Bibu on the window is going to pick up one. You can hear the Yokai drones now are able to deny this plant, and the plant will not stick. Purely down to the Yokais. Very well held there from LeStream.
But he learned where it was right at the end, so good enough. But yeah, there we go. Vitality again with such a last second push coming through for them, and he was so lucky that the Nitro missed, because putting the Nitro down right in the front there next to the locker, I think the locker actually does take a little bit of the brunt of the damage from the Nitro there, and Thermite can actually just walk right back and just avoid the Nitro kill entirely, and he can just keep going for that plant. They did really well though, LeStream, to just wait to reveal the Echo drone, to not reveal it immediately, because a lot of teams will, you know, they'll see one of their teammates take a good gunfight and they'll be like, oh, I'll just echo the guy he's against a gunfight against. No, don't do that. You let the gunfight play out, then you decide if you need to reveal your Echo drone or not.
You've got to use the Yokai drones at the last possible second.
Yeah, really powerful utility.
Yeah, it's the mark of a good player that knows when the plant has started to go down and can wait until the plant is about to complete before using the drone, because it can just waste so much time in those dying seconds, and it's just about understanding the operator fully. You've seen the IQ be picked this time from Bibu, obviously not wanting to deal with those Yokai drones again. However, Uno this time going to be on the Valkyrie, so he's still going to be very susceptible, or his Black Eyes, should I say, is still going to be very susceptible to the IQ pick, of course, but not quite investing so heavily in the Yokai drone denial this time. Just going to be looking toward Maestro and Smoke for that.
5 seconds to go.
Yeah, he definitely is going to be able to. Getting into round number 2 here, we'll see how it's going to go down. LeStream are going to start their second defense, opting to not bring the Echo this time, but they are going to be bringing the Maestro, which I do enjoy. This is definitely going to be a very interesting round coming out. What do we think of the lineup here for Vitality?
I like the lineup. I think it's fairly strong. I'd maybe prefer to see the Book over the Sledge. I know that we've talked about this a little bit. Book just provides that very quick opening of a hell of a lot of the floor. We've really not seen all too much Sledge play on Border in the previous games that we've looked at during these qualifiers. Then Book tends to win out, but Uno there working off some Valkyrie Cam information, no doubt, does make a nice run out onto Spark. Valkyrie Cam is, however, going to be picked out. Spark going to be pretty low hit points after that engagement. Not really what you want to be going into in the first 40 or so seconds of the round.
Yeah, you know, doing quite a lot of damage with that as well. And Bibu chooses to move around on this east balcony. I really thought he was going to get picked then, like someone was just going to wide peek out, because I knew Uno was still in archives. So we'll see how this goes down, as Bibu going to move all the way up onto Fountain to see what he can do. Vitality have pretty good control, but that is not how it starts off. That is really poor info coming out there, as Rise is just allowed to peek out the backside of Fountain and does take him down. Vitality are already losing their IQ. This is not good for them at all.
LeStream there not really giving any you know, not giving any map control up at all. Ace is getting heavily pressured now in CCTV, but Rise is able to play off that as well as a little bit of a distraction. Ace is going to, however, reveal his location there by just putting some pre-fire shots down. Spark will pick up that kill onto the Maestro, and Ace is no doubt going to get pushed. We've got a guy pushing from break room as well, but he oh, I thought he managed to pick up that kill there, but it was actually Alpha that picks up the kill onto Spark. Ace is, however, going to go down in that scenario, so effective 3 versus 3 now, moving into this final minute of the round. Upstairs control has largely been gained now by Vitality, but they've spent a lot of time doing it, and they've lost quite a bit of utility along the way as well. Still plenty of denial in the hands of LeStream. Nitro Cell on Uno there, 3 Toxic Bays, and possibly even a Nitro Cell on Alpha as well.
Yeah, looking pretty good now for LeStream to try and deny the plant to go down. And again, Vitality don't really have the control that they need to try and put this plant down. Sledge ought to really be up here to try and open up vertical holes, and Aurex should be in the site and trying to go and protect this plant. But oh no, he just had breach charges, I did forget about that. That's actually really smart now. So now the Sledge can actually go below, or can actually help it with opening the vertical holes here. But they do have control of the connector. Now all that Vitality need to do is get control of the ventilation room. But oh no! Alvama gets caught out by... Oh my god, that's so bad. The fact that the shotgun's there and he's trying to play the vertical play but not getting the kill is not good. But Uno will strike back, he gets the kill but instantly traded out. It's all down to Hicks in a 1v1. It looks like BB will try and... Braid will try and put down the planter, and he will be able to do so successfully, but no, Hicks does take him down. Easy as that. LeStream will take round number 2. They're looking very, very good here on border so far. Vitality, just a little bit too slow with these attacks, it seems again.
Slightly slow with the attack, and I know that you commented on Hibana being up there with the breach in charge. I'd have still liked to have seen Sledge up there because I feel like he could have opened so much more of the floor, much shorter period of time, and really assisted in that. The trades did start to fly out. It comes down to the pump shotgun again on Hicks, and he does make it do the good work. So can't really take anything away from LeStream there. They've picked up 2 really solid rounds back-to-back on defense. We're going to now go over to Bathroom and Tellers, and they're going to show us what they've got over here as well. Maybe even, oh, I thought we were going to see the Echo 6 pick there, but Uno just going to opt for the Maestro, although he hasn't confirmed it yet. Maybe still a little bit undecided.
Yeah, definitely. So moving to round number 3, we can see LeStream going to be looking pretty good for themselves. I would like to mention, just on that last round, you mentioned the Hibana maybe not being upstairs. I don't mind her being upstairs because she opened up the connector. So you have vents. She's opening up the connector to server, so they can't go through at all. You post someone front door to watch the rotate, which is where the smoke was playing, and then you have someone on the window who hops in and plants the diffuser. That way, they have all the angles covered, and they don't need to push or peek anything. But at this point, they didn't have that setup at all, and they just had 1x1s everywhere.
Yeah, like you say, there wasn't enough. You know, the Hibana was working well on her own, but I don't think that the team was working well enough around her to be able to, you know, really close that round out. And it was Hicks that was the slippery defender in the end that did enable himself to be able to get away and pick up that final kill. A lot of utility being invested upstairs this time. Obviously, a very important area to control of the map is going to be your office and fountain area, along with archives when you're looking to defend downstairs. Bathroom Tellers. It can be such a difficult bomb site to get a plant off because you just need so much control of upstairs and of the bomb site to be able to even get in as an attacker. With no smokes on the board of Vitality, I think they're going to have a pretty tough job here.
Yeah, definitely will. Vitality are going to move in pretty quickly this time, however, getting all the way onto this east stairs and seeing what exactly they can do about all of this. But I don't like nades coming out here. Oh no, sorry, he's flashbanging over the archway so they can't bandit trick, but if he's going to do that, he needs to start opening the wall at the same time. But there we go, nades are going to come through from Sneaky, and this is great coordination coming out from Vitality, and there we go, beautiful.
That's a very, very good grenade toss. He's going to have taken out the bandit there. That's the wall open in very short space of time. And they've not spent too much utility on it either. It's going to make offices a very difficult area to operate in. Rise will have the option of being able to drop back down onto the site, although the site isn't really where you want to be when office control has been given up, because the Sledge there is just going to be able to make short work of the floor and make it very uncomfortable to operate down there indeed. Rise just opting to play his life now. There's still a lot of places that can be held from within offices at this point. There's no real need to move out all too quickly. Halfway through the round, and it isn't looking too bad for LeStream, despite Vitality managing to get the wall open relatively quickly.
No, it isn't, but I feel like Aces could have played that much better. The flashbangs are coming down. He should know at that point he's about to get naded, because Vitality be bringing a sledge every single round. You should know that you're about to get naded here. It's not a good bandit to try and do. He should rotate out at that point or try and play it a lot safer. But yeah, I don't like the way that he played that. But 1 minute left to go on the clock. We'll see how it does go down. Round number 3, not looking too good for Vitality. They're wasting quite a lot of time to try and get a lot of control, but they do have the upstairs control, and they do have Sledge on the board, so this could go very well for them. And there we go, a flurry of kills come through, a double kill coming out from Habano above. Now he has upstairs control, and now he has the breach charges as well into that pocket, so he can make good use out of the vertical play. Smokes are going to come down, and there we go. This is looking very much better for LeStream, as Uno takes down Brid and turns it into a 4v2. Hicks with the impacts, actually, so he's going to be able to open up a new angle for himself. Uno with a great angle of his own, and there's still smokes available. So plenty of plant denial coming out here for LeStream. All they have to do is just hold on tight. 20 seconds left to go, and the Maestro camp is going to get destroyed. However, Uno still playing very nice around it. Does get another kill. That's Diffuser down. Uno alone in a 3v1. But all he has to do is just deny this Diffuser going down, and he can still win it. He's not going to pick it out correctly, and they are going to recover the Diffuser and try and plant it down. All he has to do is just deny it, and he can win the round, but he's not going to be able to peek out too aggressively. And the Diffuser does go down successfully. Now, it's in the 3v1. It's a post-plant situation. He peeks around all the way into the waiting room. Oh, what a shot from Uno! He takes out one, but instantly traded out by Spark. Vitality take round number 3.
That's a real big shame for Uno, because he went to reload the Alder at that point, and I feel like he probably had enough rounds in the magazine to be able to, you know, pick up that final kill. You know, taking your eye off the defuse at that point, you've kind of really taken your eye off the ball and it being able to be picked up and then replanted in a safer location for Vitality. That was what won in the round. Great initiative from Vitality to be able to pick that diffuser up and take it to where it was safer to plant. All so close for LeStream, but Vitality are going to pick up a round, and I think it's a round that they really needed at that point, because it was really starting to flow in the favour of LeStream, but moving in now 2-1 in favour of LeStream.
Yeah, definitely looking very good for LeStream indeed. They're looking pretty powerful on Border's defenses, and I did say this is definitely a map that favours their playstyle a little bit more than it favours Vitality's. Maybe Vitality have something up their sleeve here. RX he's 6-2 right now. I didn't even realize he's dropping so many kills here, but that Habana entry's been working out quite well for him. He's going to switch around to the Capital, however. We'll see how that goes down. They move to round number 4 and see LeStream with an armory defense yet again. Now remember, this actually came down to a great Echo play, and I think Vitality do remember that quite well, because Bibu is picking up the IQ. Yeah,
the IQ is going to be a really important pickup this time from Vitality. Although IQ is going to have to expose, you know, Bibu's going to have to expose himself enough on the IQ to be able to take out these drones. He's going to get a good idea as to where they're being played, which can always assist in where the Thatcher grenades are going to, the Thatcher EMPs are going to get thrown, which kind of helps disable them. But ultimately, it's going to be down to Uno to be able to hide his drones well enough. They did give away the location last time, as they did win on the denial. So I'm sure that all of the members of Vitality are pretty aware of where the drone was played last time. I'm sure that Uno's got plenty of other sneaky spots up his sleeve, and we will have to see where they come out if it comes down to a plant denial situation. But first, Vitality are going to have to take a little bit of map control and just work the way in. Maybe try and open up that main wall. It could be a little bit more difficult this time because they haven't got the Habana, because RX has switched out onto the Capital.
Yeah, but flashbangs are going to come down. Hopefully you'll be able to get this open, but he's going to flash himself, unfortunately. But they do get the armory wall open. Should be going for a box take fairly soon. But yeah, as you mentioned, the Echo is still up on the board. As long as Bibu survives, it shouldn't be that bad. But just the threat, and that is a really good place for an Echo drone as well. Just the threat of it being there is really going to slow down Vitality unless they actually pick it up early. This is actually a great opportunity for Bibu to go below at this point.
It's the uncertainty, isn't it, of where the Echo drone is going to be being played. Quite like where Hicks is trying to play here, just on top of this server stack. He's getting ready for the push that is undoubtedly going to come. Alpha there is going to lose a heck of a lot of hit points, just challenging out onto the armory wall, as Bibu is getting himself pretty nicely positioned outside. Like you say, looking to maybe come in through main door, come in downstairs, and try to take out any yokai drones that he can find.
Yeah, and you should be able to get it off pretty well. I mean, he's got a decent amount of info on what's going down. He's convinced that someone's going to hop out AC, and he will guess correctly. And Uno, again with that AC jump out, is going to go down. But most importantly, that's the Echo off the board. That's massive for Vitality. Uno, why would you do that?
Uno's been playing really well. He's been getting pretty lucky on some run-outs in previous games. He's had a run-out on this game as well, which he did manage to get a lot of hit points off. But to run out as the Echo at this point, moving into the last minute, it's just too big to ignore. You just can't be throwing away that much utility. Hicks is looking for a refrag here, and he is going to find it onto Bibu. Very nice angle there, but ultimately Hicks is going to be a little bit out of the fight now as the push is going to come through. Smoke grenades are going to be deployed, asphyxiating bolts are going to fly in. The smoke toss comes out, but it isn't deep enough to do any damage. The plant will go down. RX is going to flick round and get a kill onto Aces. The diffuser has gone down. 4 versus 3 now. Hicks is going to have to make his way up main stairs if he's looking to retake this site, and it's down to the members of LeStream now to be able to try and pick up some kills. Rise is going to start things off with a kill of his own. Very low hit point at this point. Brid is going to pick up the kill onto Hicks. All now going to be in the hands of Rise. He's got the SMG-11 and a Dream at this point. Not a lot of time left to pick up these kills and get the defuse off, so he's going to have to make something happen. Sneaky is going to finally find the kill, and that's going to be a round on the board for Vitality.
Yeah, much better done from Vitality, but I just hated the fact that Uno did that run out. If he hadn't done it, I feel like they could have either brought it back and not allowed the diffuser to go down in such a powerful spot, or they could have at least, you know, gone for a good retake. But not having that Echo available and only having the info from it, that's horrible. I think there was a massive mistake coming out from Uno.
That was the shifting point in the round where as soon as BB got that kill, it was like, I've just killed Echo. Push, push, push. There's nothing that's going to deny you now. There's going to be some smoke grenades, but the planters know where to plant to avoid the smoke toss and stuff. So it really just was the tipping point of that round, and such an important pick from Bibu. Great game sense to know that someone was going to be jumping out of there. Can only think it was good intel off a drone, but he really acted on it very well, hit his shots, and like you say, it was enough to bring Vitality their second round.
That's very reminiscent of like a Gomfi play. If you ever go against Gomfi in ranked and you go on like Cafe or something, he'll always have his echo drones on like the windows above, and you'll put the echo drone right above it, and you'll just peek constantly off of it. All you have to do is just wait for it to peek, just pre-fire it. You'll kill him very easily. So there you go. Go against Gomfi and ranked, that's all you have to do, because he will play the echo and he'll peek off of it. But yeah, losing the echo that badly, that's just not something that can happen. But we are going to move through into round number 5. We're going to see another upstairs defense coming out from LeStream. No echo this time coming out from them. It looks like Uno wants to play a little bit more aggressively on the pulse this time instead, which is a much more traditional role for him as well.
Yeah, the Echo maybe not just working out for him. We've seen Uno, like you say, he picks up nearly 30 kills in the first series against Empire. He's maybe just not wanting to take himself out of the fight too much and play too conservatively as the Echo. So the Pulse and the UMP are going to be what he's going to be opting for this round. Maybe just trying to get a couple more kills on the board than he has been doing. And that run out could have just come out of a bit of frustration of just trying to make something happen and getting a little bit too thirsty for a kill.
And we said this before as well about LeStream's playstyle, is maybe they don't play as well together and they don't have as many strats as the other European teams. I mean, they have plenty of comp experience and they're all great fraggers as well, especially Uno and Aces. I feel like they rely on that a little bit too much though, and a team like Vitality is going to punish them for being way too over-aggressive. Empire certainly did as well.
And that aggression needs to be very well considered, because aggression can be a very powerful thing. Sometimes it's the initiative you need and you need to take that aggression, but other times there's times where it really just isn't going to pay off and it is just going to hurt you to do so. Uno getting himself prone underneath the recently opened Hibana hole. He is going to drop back down into Tellers and just play his life out a little bit longer. It was a bit of an aggressive stance for him to be taking there, and Alpha is still stuck upstairs in office, just with a bandit in his hand, just ready to try and hold this corner a little bit longer. The push a little bit slower this time coming out from Vitality. Thermite charge now going to go off onto the wall. Alpha's going to take the opportunity to peek. He's not all too far away from getting the kill, but Brid is just holding the angle, waiting for him to do so. More utility going to be getting deployed, and that's certainly office control now for Vitality.
I can't understand why he did that, because he has a Nitro, and if he'd done that and he had barbed wire down, I wouldn't have minded it so much, but you've just lost a huge amount of utility again because of members of LeStream who are over-peaking. We're getting shut down by Vitality. There was no reason for him to peek that, because he could have wasted so much more time and possibly got a Nitro kill sitting where he already was. I get that he figures he could be eventually pushed out, but that was really dumb from Alpha.
Yeah, and like you say, there's not all too much denial left on the team of LeStream. One one Nitro cell in the hands of Uno, and obviously the Maestro cameras as well, but it's not even like there's an Echo drone to kind of fall back on. Brid is going to look to get open the wall as Sneaky gets a kill onto Hicks, so even the Maestro Evilize are now not going to be a factor. Brid's going to be able to open the wall. The plant's certainly going to be coming down any second now as we do reach the 30-second mark, 30 seconds left of the round. Pulse has still got a bit of a job to do here though. There's definitely potential for a Nitro kill. There's definitely potential to try and deny this plant to a degree, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough with only 2 guns on the site. I don't know if he's better off redeploying himself now, as it is, you know, the team of Vitality are very much aware that he's here.
Yeah, Uno's going to still be below. 10 seconds left to go on the clock, and oh my god, Uno's going to go down. This may have been the saving grace. Aces does take down Bebo, however, in return. This is looking so much better. Ryze going to wide peek out of it. Does not go down just yet, but Aces from the return on the East Stairs. He wins the round by taking down Brid. Oh my god, that was almost a disaster for LeStream. Losing Uno like that so early on, that was almost round 1 for Vitality, but Aces is all the way off on the East Stairs. He peeks it out, using their own triple wall that they opened up against them and getting a great kill there. Aces was an amazing clutch through to save the round for LeStream, but they should really get punished a little bit more for doing things like that. Vitality should have a flank watch drone there. Like, what's happening?
You can't rely on that individual play, but you know, really well done to Aces. The target acquisition there, and the fact that he knew who to go for, because he could have got any of those kills. He was very well played.
I think he was just lucky, honestly. I think
he's at least give it to him that he went for the player that was crouched.
Yeah, sorry, I take it all back. Ace is actually the smartest player to ever play Siege. He knew exactly what that.
No, but if you know that, if you've heard that the plant is going down and there's 3 members, of the attacking team. One of them's crouched and 2 of them are stood up. You're going to go for the guy that's crouched. You can't argue with his target acquisition there. He's picked the right target, he's prioritised his kills, and it's brought the round. Because I think at that point, if Vitality plant, they were probably in a really good position to hold that post plant.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about how that even happened though, because Aces is on the East Stairs. He already gets a pick there, so they know he's around there somewhere. They're in sight planting. Everyone from Vitality is in the site. They know the Pulse isn't downstairs anymore, so they can all play there. They already know that Smoke is in the armory. All they need to do is just watch behind, and no one was.
That's the problem at that point. I think that Vitality overcommitted to the site, and they didn't need to throw as many bodies onto the site as they did. Had they just had somebody holding back in offices, it maybe would have been a little bit different. That's obviously something that we can say sat here with, you know, hindsight. But I think, yeah, a little bit of overcommitting to the site there, it just caused them to fall short, because they were very close and they did deserve that round. The way that they took offices was really, really good.
I still feel like Uno was playing below that entire time, and you know, he's playing that really smart. He's waiting for the plant to start going down before he uses Nitro, as he's done before on Consulate as well. He was playing that very smart, but he gets killed through the vertical play. That is not Vitality playing well. That is Uno making a big mistake there. Because really, Vitality should have to go downstairs to clear out Pulse.
Yeah, they definitely should, and we lost Bandit fairly early on as well, on triple, making that aggressive run, well, not aggressive run out, but that aggressive sort of prone as the exothermic was going off as well. So, yeah, maybe it was a factor that Vitality just capitalised on the couple of mistakes that LeStream made. Ooh, good shots there coming in onto Bibu, and Legion does actually manage to get away with his life as well. Just poking a couple of points of damage there, managing to get a goo mine out there. And with the hatch open, they're almost certainly going to be able to drop to the safety of the site. They've wasted over half the round at this point. It's a great job done from the roamers. Now they're just going to try and concentrate on holding this vertical play, because it's going to come through from Sneaky. He's got Sledge's hammer, and he's definitely going to want to start using it very soon in offices and armory to open up some lines of sight and make it uncomfortable to operate down there. Ace is just rotating back off main stairs, just making sure that he's available to deny this plant if it does come to that. He's obviously going to have some evil eyes in the site that are going to prove very useful.
Yeah, they've definitely been doing very well with it indeed so far, but it's going to be Vitality's final attack. I honestly think that LeStream's playstyle is going to work much better for them on a border attack, but we're not going to see that just yet. As we get through into the final minute of random sticks, we can see Sledge is getting open this floor a little bit. He's going to get so lit up already. There's so much aggression coming out here, but it's not going to work out for them just yet. Sneaky tries to pick up the Legion on the cross, but doesn't manage to pick him up just yet as he rotates all the way around. We see breach charges going down yet again, coming out from the Habana, but we're not seeing much commitment coming out from Vitality just yet onto the site. but it's 30 seconds. You need to start pushing. You need to start thinking about how this plant is going to go down. Most ledges is going to get open up onto the ceiling here. They're going to drone all the way into the bathroom, but BB finds the first kill of the round with 20 seconds left to go on the clock. Alpha goes down, Hicks goes down as well to BB, making a great entry through Passport here, as Rise will shut it all down. Brit goes through, and he will go down for it, and it's going to be a 3v4. Oh my god, BB finds another kill. Aces goes down, but Rise with the pistol whip finally finishes off Spark, and now it's going to be a 3v2. Uno and Rise left remaining to deny the plant going down. The diffuser will get recovered. Rise shuts it down, but he will win the round! Oh my god! So much aggression coming out from LeStream, and Vitality just can't deal with it.
Vitality running out of time yet again, just leaving the push too late. They took good upstairs control, but it's just the way that LeStream are able to still harass from below through the vertical play and a little bit of light roaming on the ground floor at that stage. It really did make the difference. LeStream are well placed to take this map now. 4 rounds to 2, moving on to attack. We've seen LeStream attacking really well, you know, like we've said, relying quite heavily on their ability to pick up gunfights, and I think that that's something that we're going to continue to see here now.
I think this is going to benefit them so much more on the attack, because you saw when they're on defense, they're getting picked so early. And it happened as well on Empire, where there's a lot of members of LeStream who were peeking for no reason and getting picked in one-on-one fights. They're not letting themselves get traded. They're not playing each other off well. Alphamid playing in sort of Canadian area, in the offices, in that little sandwich area. That was a perfect example of that. Uno, again, jumping out of AC and trying to go for the kill. Another great example of that, where members of LeStream are getting picked way too early in 1v1 fights when they know who they're playing against, and they've won these rounds purely based on how long Vitality is taking on these attacks and how they're waiting until the very last minute, the last 30 seconds to just push. So
LeStream don't need to be as aggressive as they're being, but I do think that part of this is the fact that they've just had a best-of-3 series against Empire.
They just want to close it out.
They want to close it out. Empire brought a lot of aggression into their gameplay, and so did LeStream, and I think both teams played off it very well against each other. There was a lot of really important first picks that came out for both Empire and LeStream in that game, and it seemed to be that whoever got the first pick usually went on to win the round, purely because of how much both teams were relying on that, you know, decent entry fragging and picking up a kill early on. It's going to be no different here. We've got Uno again on the Ash, just putting some shots that down through onto 90. Sometimes you do see that reinforced, and it can be a valuable reinforcement to use. It does just avoid any sort of pre-fire shots on the way in. Uno, of course, rocking the Invitational skin again. And is that a sign of things to come? Are they going to be able to pick up these next couple of rounds and close this one out?
He wants another skin. He doesn't want to. No one wants to watch a tournament as a spectator. They want to play in it, of course. And this is looking pretty good so far for LeStream. I will say, though, that Uno's performance hasn't been as powerful as it was on Empire. Is that because of who they were playing against, or is it that LeStream have tightened up their attacks a little bit more?
It could be that we've had a bit of a break, and they've, you know, sort of got themselves together a little bit, and they've figured out what they're going to do against this team of Vitality. There could be some differences in the way that they've prepared for this. So I think he maybe just went a little bit cold, and then obviously coming in onto this border map, they came into on defense first. Ooh, Ace is there with a nice wide peek out onto Sneaky. That's an important kill for them to get. Sneaky looked like he should have picked up that kill all day, but Ace is with the peeker's advantage there, is able to pick that entry kill up. Uno there, swiftly being able to deal with an Evil Eye, but he actually misses. The Evil Eye opens and he's still able to shoot it. That's a big oversight from the Maestro in that circumstance. There's no need to open that and just get a couple of points of damage and lose all of that information that you've lost there by losing the Evil Eye out in offices.
Yeah, that was a massive mistake coming out there from the Maestro. You should have just waited to see if the Evil Eye had actually gotten destroyed. Because if you open up, you're doing really minimal damage, honestly. But there we go. Nades are going to start to come out to try and destroy the other Maestro cam. Did it miss? Yeah, it missed. Again, the Maestro is getting very, very aggressive with this. It's doing a bit of damage here. But that's not good. Spark is on a sliver of HP. Now as Alphamid moves into the site, he takes down Brid. Uno moving up right next to him. And he's going to go for the pre-fires. Didn't shoot a dead body though. Flashbangs are going to go out. And Bias takes out RWXD. RXWD, sorry. As Bibu is the last one remaining. He will take out Rise. He does have upstairs control, but the diffuser will go down. And we'll try and see what he can do. But this is looking really, really good for the LeStream right now. Bibu is going to really have his work cut out for him. He's going to move through. He's on one of the better fraggers on Vitality, so he should be able to get some kills. There we go. Uno going to go down as well. Bibu's find 2. He's going to have to find 3 more. It's easy as that. He's going to find these gunfights as they come. Push it all the way through. Going to go for the pre-fires and reload. Just take a breather and push all the way through. Diffuser slowly going to do its work though, as he tries to push into the bathroom, the area. Oh my god, no! The Capital bot comes down as well. This is not looking good at all. He tries to peek out, tries to find the fight, but Aces won't let him have it. He'll get taken down, and LeStream take round number 7 in a pretty dominating fashion.
It was a very difficult situation there for BB to find himself in. 1 versus 5. He quickly made it a 1 versus 4, so he was doing his best from the get-go. But it just wasn't quite enough. I think the members of Vitality just fell too quickly on the site when the push did come through from LeStream. And that's LeStream winning 3 rounds in a row there. That's pretty big for them momentum-wise. Another one they're going to be on to match point, and another one they're going to take the series. So I think coming on to attack now for LeStream is really important because they do benefit from these attacking rounds.
Definitely, definitely. So we will see how exactly it's going to go through. As you see a Bathroom Towers defense coming out from Vitality. Rather surprisingly, LeStream looking in a very good situation. As said, that I think that border attack is going to benefit LeStream's playstyle more than it's going to benefit Team Vitality. We've definitely seen that being represented in the scoreline right now. And you can see that Uno is only on 5 for 5 right now.
Uno's got a lot of gas left in the tank, I think, for these attacking rounds.
I think it's more the fact that Vitality haven't been letting Uno take as many one-on-one gunfights as he was finding in the Empire matchup, because when two teams have a really similar playstyle, it just becomes a gunfighting constantly coming out between the two. But with Vitality, they have a very different playstyle to Empire.
Yeah, they're definitely a little bit more, I don't know, strat-based, I think maybe be the right phrase. And that does seem to be shutting down Uno in his pushes just a little bit. But like we say, we've only seen him on attack for 1 round on border. Uno does tend to do a little bit better on attack because he's able to bring that aggression a bit more. The aggression on defense sometimes doesn't always work out for him. And you can see there that he's probably going to be looking to get droned in upstairs pretty quickly now and try and take some control. Maybe even with CCTV and then move on to offices.
Yeah, maybe he will do just that. Moving into round number 8 though, however, we're going to see exactly how it's going to go through as LeStream taking a fairly similar lineup to what they were taking last time as well. And we've seen this a lot from LeStream, where they haven't really made that much adaptation in their roster lineup. I mean, Empire made far less roster adaptations, but they just make it work.
There's no nades this, oh sorry, there is nades this time on the book to try and aid this. But RXW is too preoccupied holding the hatch downstairs, and the wall will get opened very, very quickly. That's not very good for the team members of Vitality because it's just going to allow a big line of sight and it's going to cut off a lot of rotations there. Rise well placed up on the roof to try and throw some grenades down. You can see him there bouncing them off the lantern. Not quite managing to hit his mark, but maybe doing some damage there onto Sneaky. Just going to jump in his drone again, see if there's any other nades that he can find a spot for. But Uno is all the way in waiting room, opening up castle barricades, pushing on down into bathroom. Uno's fairly well established at this point. He's very exposed in where he is, but I think his teammates and the sort of pressure that they're applying elsewhere is just allowing him to be able to be this way. He's going to put some pre-fire shots out there. He doesn't quite manage to find his mark on Brid, but he will take some hit points and as he goes to try and find this kill yet again, but he's not really working off any information now. Going to rotate up the stairs and try and ensure this control of offices.
Yeah, flashbangs are going to come out from below the castle here. I wonder what his plan is here exactly. He's waiting for his teammate to run around, I guess. But no, he's going to try and put down the flashes, and he's going to be opening up the office barricade here easy as it does come down. Vitality are starting to lose quite a lot of control here, and they do start to lose members as Hicks takes off the first one. BB goes down. This is not looking too good at all for Vitality. Capital also coming through. Spark, however, is going to fight back. He takes down Higgs, and Aces finds one in return. And Aces finds his second one, and Alphama finds one. Alphama finds 2. What just happened? LeStream just push all the way in. They find every single gunfight that they can take, and they just take the round. Easy as that. No one even moving into the site.
2 quick double kills there from Aces and Alpha to close out that round. And this is it now. LeStream are on match point. This is for all the marbles. They need to win this game if they do want to go to Invitationals, which at this point, I'm pretty sure that that's all they're going to be thinking of. The 1 round away, they've had a very convincing showing on border. If you're on Vitality now, what are you thinking to yourself? You're quite a few maps down at this point.
I think honestly just peek everything. Do what August did in their SSG match where they were going down and they just kind of said, yeah, whatever, let's just try and take gunfights. But considering who you're against here as well, maybe that might not be the best strategy.
Yeah, hyper-aggression, when met with hyper-aggression, can sometimes just come into, you know, a heck of a lot of messy gunfights there. I don't think it'd be too bad from Vitality if they did so. They are going up to Armory now, which is somewhere that we haven't seen them defend just yet. but I'm not 100% on the lineup. I think the Valk and the Pulse, maybe we could have seen one of those switched out for a Maestro or even an Echo. We did see LeStream put in the Echo to very good work, and that did help them to win a good few of their defensive rounds. So not sure how that's going to play, and I think the Echo could cause a lot of disturbance for LeStream's attack with the way that they do tend to push. They do tend to push all together.
Yeah, they definitely do tend to push quite heavily together, and this is kind of what I was going on about, where Uno isn't dropping as many frags, but he isn't finding as many gunfights either. So I don't necessarily blame him. I don't think that he's doing as, he's not doing worse. It's just a different game.
It is the mark of a good team, though, when you've got an operator that's known for frags, or you've got a player that's known for frags, and even though he's not getting them, the team is still winning and they're still doing well. It is the mark of a good team in that there's multiple players on the team and they're not relying on any one individual performance.
And there we go. We are going to see how it does go down. No Echo coming out, of course, from Vitality. I'm not sure if I agree with that, but, I mean, Echo and Maestro are both on the board here for Vitality, and they've not picked either of them here.
No, and it's like I say, I'm not sure about the Valkyrie and the Pulse pick. I think one of those could be switched out for an Echo or a Maestro, especially the Valk, because you're still going to get 2 cameras, you're still going to get 2 Evils. We saw one of the Valkyrie cameras getting taken out very early. It's going to give you an indication as to where the push is coming from, but I feel like Pulse can do that largely with the cardiac sensor as well. We will see how it plays out here. A little bit of a slower push maybe coming in from LeStream. They're obviously feeling the pressure at this point and they don't want to mess anything up. Uno, they're going to be taking out any bandit batches that he can and just narrowly missing out on that kill. He's going to put some good shots in, but the bars are not going to do him any favours. The distraction is enough, however, for the wall to be opened, and that's going to make it uncomfortable on the site for the remaining defenders upstairs. Ace is meanwhile pushing his way through customs, maybe looking to go up onto either east stairs or main. We will have to see.
Yeah, we will have to see that. Just about halfway into the round now on LeStream. Looking pretty good to try and take this round, but they've got a lot of control, and having Aces down below here is such a powerful position because he could rotate on top of metal and he could go for a really good flank, but also he's down here with his electronics detector and he should be able to take quite a lot of those electronics off the board if they are a problem. But let's see, Capital Balls are going to come through. LeStream's out their attack, but Spark shuts it down with a kill of his own, but a nice nade coming out from Rise does manage to find his mark, but BB finds another one. There goes Uno from below, and now it's a 3v4. Not looking too good all of a sudden for LeStream. They put down quite a lot of the utility, but they haven't really pushed off of it that well. They've still got asphyxiation bolts, but they don't have the smoke cover anymore. He's going to put a drone onto Harpo. He's going to lose someone there, but Rise is going to move all the way in. The call didn't go out correctly, and Bridge is going to take him down. The asphyxiation bolt is going to get loaded up. It's a 3v1, all down to Alpha Mode, but he can't find the kill onto Bridge. He takes him down, and Vitality take round number 9 and keep themselves in this for one more round. What a disaster of a push coming out from LeStream. They had everything they needed, but they didn't have the intel.
No, you're right. They didn't have a lot of intel. You could see there that the drone got destroyed pretty much at the same time as the call would have been coming out, but at that point it was too late. But I don't know if that round's just coming a bit too late for Vitality as well, because LeStream still on match point. Vitality have got a long way to go if they do want to look to take this map of Border and take us to a third. I'm not sure if they've got it in the tank at this stage. We've seen them defend Armory very well, but it is the only defense we've seen them do very well at. Ventilation Workshop, it was a very good round for LeStream, and they pushed it very, very well. We're going to see a Monty.
I think Rise is just sick of it at this point, and he just wants to bring it in.
Does he just want to close this out? Are we going to see a really nice Monty push now with Uno backing him up?
I think so. I mean, without the book here, it's a little questionable, just because Rise has been doing pretty well in the book so far, and he did get a really nice nade kill during the previous round. So, maybe it's a little bit questionable not to hit the book here, although LeStream have been missing out on that kind of push potential, right? And Montaigne does allow you to have that.
With us seeing quite heavy reliance on gun skill from LeStream so far, they've got us to a point on Border now, and they're obviously not going to want to throw this opportunity away. They're going to want to try and close this out as soon as possible. Do you think we could maybe be seeing something they've been trying to hide away? Are we going to maybe see a little bit of a strategy here with the Monty coming out?
Potentially. I mean, I feel like the only real pocket strat we've seen so far across the entire qualifier was Liquid with the Twitch drone, which was really effective, surprisingly. We haven't seen anything like that coming out from LeStream, but the Monty is completely the polar opposite of what they've been playing so far. So maybe there is something deeper here from LeStream. I'm very interested to see how they play around the Monty, but I get the feeling it's just going to be a very default Monty push, but they feel like they have to do something different.
Yeah, and it is something different to what we've been used to seeing from them. It's going to allow them to be able to push into the site maybe a little bit more directly. They might not take too much control of upstairs aside from possibly pushing some roamers out purely because they've not got all too much ability to destroy it in that they've not brought a sledge or a book. We will have to see how it comes out. Uno, though, is going to open things up with a kill onto BB, but getting traded straight back out by RX on the Maestro, holding upstairs in Armory. So two, pretty important picks there. BB's been doing some fantastic work for Vitality, and Uno, he's been on fire all evening. That's a big loss early on from LeStream, and especially if you're going to look to try and push the Monty in and have someone like an Ash that's going to be able to play behind him very quickly, peeking in and out.
Monty getting very, very aggressive here. It's actually being droned in right now, right? Just use that armor drone ability just to move all the way in and just spot out the Maestro cam there up in the top of Archives. LeStream have really good control right now, but they don't have the Ash to deal with that Maestro cam. They don't actually have anything to do with the Maestro right now, so this could actually end pretty badly for them considering they can't remove this intel.
They're going to have to change up the whole push here because the Maestro is just so powerful. Like you say, they've lost the Ash, they've lost all the ability to deal with it. Maestro hasn't been being brought every round, and I think that's, possibly to a benefit at this point. It's maybe something that LeStream have just overlooked at this point, because as long as Maestro keeps that closed, he's not going to be able to do much, LeStream aren't going to be able to do much about it in terms of destroying it. The best thing to do at this stage will be to push round and maybe try and push Armory Wall. That would possibly give it a little bit of a better angle onto anybody that's playing over in Armory, but exothermic charges are going to be deployed and the site will be opened up for Rise. Still got smoke playing in the bathroom, which is a very dangerous place to allow a smoke to be playing. The push is going to have to start coming out soon as we move into the final minute of the round. Still members of the defense upstairs on Vitality, and they're going to want to start trying to redeploy themselves down as this final push comes in, and the utility is going to get thrown out from the stream as they do try to get the plant down. Brady's going to come out with a great kill there onto Alfama, making that a double, taking out the Monty as well. Hicks going to trade him out, but it's going to be too late. RXWD going to get the kill onto Hicks. 3 versus 1 now. Aces with it all to do. It's not looking very good for him. 25 seconds left on the clock. The diffuser is not in his hand. It is downstairs outside of Tellers. Castle barricades are going to slow him down at this point. 15 seconds left. There's not a lot that he's going to be able to do. He's going to have to drop and go for kills. Spark takes him out. That's going to be the end. Vitality with a very good hold of Vents. Are we going to see the comeback here?
Potentially. I mean, Vitality playing this a little bit better and they're playing a lot closer together, but LeStream, they're all over the place. They're trying to change up their attacks when they really don't need to. Their attacks have been fine so far. I don't know why they're changing their strategy all of a sudden. And you saw the change up in strategy, saw a massive flaw that I don't think LeStream were even thinking about. As you said, the Maestro really hasn't been brought that much from Vitality. It hasn't been that much of an issue for LeStream, but all of a sudden, when you have nothing to deal with it, it becomes a massive issue. Yeah,
huge issue. The switch onto the Monty there was essentially what cost them the round. They've switched onto Monty yet again, and BB this time is on the Maestro. 6 pick there off onto the book. I agree with that. I think it's a much better idea. It's it's a second way of dealing with the Evil Eyes if your Ash is to fall. You can't sleep on the Maestro cameras. That really did win him the round.
Yeah, they did. But I'm kind of surprised there that Vitality didn't try and 6 pick onto Elysian at all. Like, there's no reason for them to believe that the Monty isn't being brought again from LeStream, because it did just get brought. It wasn't necessarily bad. It didn't lose them the round, but it didn't necessarily win them the round either. So
they were able to push into sight off the back of it. I'm not sure how Brid got 2 kills in bathroom. He managed to get 1 with the shotgun, then he knifed the Monty as the Monty turned around to try and not expose himself all too much. It was a really good play, but for me, I can't help but think the Capital and the Monty have got to come out on top in that engagement.
I think what happened is that the Capital pushed it behind the Monty, and as he peeked out, he got shotgun blasted, and then there was a crossfire established, and the Monty went down. And then, yeah, it's a smoke at the end of the day as well. He's got really good shotgun, and also his utility is really good against Monty in that situation. So maybe yes, maybe it's a 2v1 as well. On top of that, you really ought to expect the attackers to come out on top. And yeah, I think that was a big factor as well in them dealing with that. But again, if they had the vertical play, he wouldn't have been able to play in bathroom that strongly.
No, not at all. But that's something that they would have had if they'd brought the book, maybe, because they would have been able to deal with the Evil Eye and open up a little bit more of the floor. Moving on to this round, we're going to see Customs as a hold now coming out from Vitality. Hicks is going to be allowed to open up the detention wall pretty much for free, just making sure that no one is running out before he does so. I quite like the passport push from this, and I think that a Monty would really help him do that. But as we've said, it can be a little bit difficult to play off, especially if you're not going to be able to take too much upstairs control.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be match point here for LeStream. Just one round away from taking their invitational ticket by force. But Vitality are still holding on just by a thread, though. Not looking too good now for Vitality. They have lost quite a lot of control already. For LeStream, they're moving much quicker than Vitality, but they're not really contesting much in what they're getting control, right? But they're not really contesting any areas that Vitality are actually holding. And if they are, they're kind of just one by one-ing, and Uno unable to find the kill just there yet. And the big problem for me is that Uno is on his own here.
He's droning himself in, and he's playing just on his own against two. There's not only the Jaeger, but Bibu also on the Maestro, both playing in Armory. And like you say, the push does just seem a little bit split at the minute. I think that if you're going to commit to taking top floor control, you've really got to commit to it with just more than one operator. I think Sledge has maybe gone up there to assist in Rise, but ultimately, it's wasting a lot of time moving into the final minute. Not a lot of control has been gained. Some good drone work's been going on. We've found out a lot of information, but they're going to have to do something with that information now as we come into the final minute. The push has to come. Uno hasn't made that much progress at all at this stage.
Yeah, but I don't really think at this point he has to make progress from the Armory push. He just has to cut off the rotate completely. But Hicks and Ace is both going to find kills onto the site itself as they try to move in and go for the plant. But it's not going down at all, but Uno gets a kill, but instantly gets traded out by Sneaky, and now it's a 2v4, all down to Sneaky, and Spark's not going to go down just yet, but Spark does take down Uno, and that's a 2v3. They're going to try and recover the diffuser, but upstairs control is in the hands of Vitality here, as the push does start to come through from Spark. He instantly needs to go for this retake, but there we go. Habana shots are going to go down. Sneaky upstairs as well, but has been detected. They know he's up here. This is not looking good. The diffuser's slowly going to start to do its work as well. Spark needs to start moving up, needs to start playing with his teammate, but his teammate will go down. He'll go down. Aces with a double kill right there at the end. LeStream Esport will take round number 11 and will take their invitational ticket by force. There we go. Good luck in Montreal coming out from Bibu. Good sportsmanship.
Great sportsmanship there. Really good to see. You know, I think Vitality have understood there that Border has really been as close a map as Consulate was. It almost went down to the wire. I think that Vitality just didn't have a reply for a lot of the things that LeStream were bringing there to the table. You can see there the final scoreline reflected in that. 9 kills for Aces there. Uno, he'd cooled off a little bit from earlier, only on 7 there. So, you know, maybe not going off as much as he was versus Empire, but still doing some great work and getting some kills nonetheless.
A very different matchup coming out there.
Very
Vitality
different.
with a completely different playstyle. It was much, much closer on Consulate, which was kind of surprising considering that Vitality picked Border. They wanted to go to Border, but as I said, I think that Stream were doing so much better there. There was a lot of unnecessary plays, especially coming out from LeStream during their defenses.
Excuse me. I think that LeStream could have made that a little bit easier for themselves had they not been so aggressive on the defense. They only dropped 2 rounds on the defense, but I feel like the 2 rounds that they dropped were rounds where they did play quite aggressively, and they didn't make it easy for themselves on a couple of rounds that they won as well. Mistakes aside, it could have been a lot shorter. I think that Vitality did a great job of capitalizing on those mistakes, and that's ultimately what you've got to do at the end of the day. You've got to take advantage of every situation that you get presented with and see it as an opportunity. Vitality did just that. Picking up those last 2 defensive rounds when LeStream were on match point was really, really key, and I thought that they were going to go through to take that to an OT.
It's surprising as well. Well, maybe not so surprising to a lot of people, though, but we've seen pretty much what everyone thought was going to happen across all 3 of these qualifiers, so we will see that LeStream will qualify along with their other European comrades in Empire, as we'll see Liquid and Nip also qualifying, and of course at the end we'll see SSG qualifying across all the open qualifiers. That'll be the final open online qualifier, however. Now we've got all 16 teams ready for the Invitational, and we will have a drawing of the seeding after this interview, however, that we're going to have in just a few moments. We're going to have a break after the interview, of course, just to sort things out on our end and make sure that we can get everything ready for you guys. But we are going to have an interview just shortly with one of the winning members from LeStream. What went wrong there for Vitality? What can they work on?
I think they need to work a little bit on the time management. A lot of times it was coming down to very late pushes that really weren't, you know, they weren't able to convert in the late round, and that was something that they really struggled with. Sometimes I think it could just be something as simple as using the 6 pick, because there were some occasions where I feel like they just could have baited out a little bit more about what they were going to bring, and it seemed as though LeStream were very well equipped to deal with the lineup that Vitality were bringing. I'm not sure if the operator bans came into that a little bit as well, because we did see Vitality relying a little bit more heavily on a clash in Consulate than LeStream did, and than that we've seen, throughout all the open qualifiers, because you don't see Clash played all too often.
Yeah.
Maybe removing the Clash actually quite hurt Vitality.
Yeah, potentially. Like the Clash was played pretty well in Consulate, and that could have been a big push off. But I can't help but feel that there was a very kind of crux strategy. Like if the Clash doesn't have a big impact and plays too aggressively, or if she goes down early, your entire defense just completely falls apart. And it's very based around her. Like having standing rotates just for the Clash means that you're gonna have to play around her quite well. Vitality did that on a lot of their rounds, but also there were a few rounds there where that Clash was going down way too early or really wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, and the impact of the Clash wasn't enough really on Consulate for it to be warranted to be brought every round.
Yeah.
That's why when the ban came out for Border, it did look a little bit strange, because the impact of it only really worked on 1 or 2 rounds all too well. I mean, the two standouts are the second round that Vitality defended Garage. They were able to keep the Clash a lot further back, and that really enabled them to play the Clash a lot longer than when the Clash was playing more aggressively on Yellow Stairs. And then the round that on Lobby, where LeStream planted within like the first 15 seconds of the round, and Clash was able to block the diffuse going down from any remaining attacker. So they're the only 2 standout rounds that I could see with the Clash that really worked. And with the way that the operator bans went for Border, I think it's no surprise that it went in favour of the defence for the first 6 rounds, purely because there was Echo and Maestro both available.
Yeah, that is definitely true. We did see good Maestro usage, but we are going to see the interview now with one of the members from LeStream, and we're going to see exactly how it's going to go down and how they feel about that great victory. It's going to be Rise. How are you feeling today, Rise? How are the boys feeling about your great victory here? I don't think we can hear him. I think we're having a bit of production issues here. No? You good now, Rise?
Yeah, I'm feeling awesome.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent. So,
can you hear me? Yeah, okay,
yeah,
nice.
We can hear you. We got you loud and clear. So, how are you feeling against that great victory? You were a bit put down, maybe, by your loss against Empire. How did you feel? Are you feeling confident you're going against Vitality, though?
Yeah, Empire was a really hard loss, to be honest, because like the rounds were really close and there has been a lot of clutches. Even though it's a 2-0, I think it's a like hard fought 2-0. But like when we had to play against Vitality right after, we were like, okay, it's another game now, and we will focus on this one 200% like we did against Empire. So really proud of the team for that.
What was your strategy going into your matchup against Vitality? Were you expecting them to be playing a very slow playstyle that is fairly traditional coming out from Vitality after all?
Yeah, even though they changed the lineup, they still have this slow play style, and we expected it actually, because we screamed a lot Vitality these last few weeks, and yeah, that's why we bought the Echo, and Uno is really nuts with it, because he saved like I think 2 or 3 rounds just with an Echo drone at 1 second left.
Yeah, on Consulate especially, he did quite well there. But on Border, you guys were getting very, very aggressive. Do you think that was a big misplay from your end, or was that part of your strategy to try and take them down?
In defense, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Border is really difficult to play against Vitality, because that's the kind of map where the site is like really close to the outside, and I think we did play aggressive to avoid to save time. Just to save time. Come on, guys. And thing is, yeah, I think we couldn't afford, like on Consulate, saving time the way we did on Consulate. I mean, so yeah, we played aggressive. Sometimes it paid off. Sometimes it didn't. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of the team about this, because we managed to do the aggressions at the right moment. Even
Joystick mentioned in his interview that he felt you guys were a little bit uncoordinated and relied quite heavily on your gun skill. Would you say that's a fairly good analysis coming out from him, or do you think that you played a much better game together recently?
Well, to be honest, from my point of view, I got wrecked. So I couldn't really. I just can rely to what he said because I couldn't hit shots. Uno did, but unfortunately, it was not a problem of coordination. I think in the against Empire, our attacks were, I don't know. It's really difficult to play against Empire. It's like Vitality, but with more difficult gunfights. You know, they play really slow in attack and they play really heavy in defense with the joystick roaming around, and they are really strong at gunfights. So it's even harder than Vitality to push sides.
Definitely, you definitely had a much better time against Vitality there. Anything you want to say to your fans and to your opponents as well?
GG to Vitality because they deserve to go to the 6th Invitational even though they lost this game. They play extremely well. And for the fans, the same message. Like, really, thank you very much for the amazing support this week. Has been really hard, really tough, but it's finally over. And thank you for the fans for the support because it really helped.
I definitely think it's been a very long and tough competitive month for anyone involved in the pro scene for Rainbow Six, myself included in that, as we are going to wrap things up. But congratulations on your victory, and we'll see you next month at the Invitational in Montreal.
Thank you very much.